Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah. And welcome back, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Kent Brockman. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Ryan, and to my left, I have
You got Bobby.
Roboito, and to my other left, my foido left,
Swoch.
we have Elton. Sorry, Woj.
It's an ongoing joke. This is great.
All right. Woj loves it.
You're like rookie of the year, grew up and then failed, you know, with that hat.
I don't even know what the fuck that means, man.
You insult him a little bit, Bobby.
A
little bit.
Insult him.
Remember
little
the
bit.
Cubs fan who, became...
I know the movie.
Steve
but
Bartman?
I
That's what
don't-
I'm saying. Like,
I don't look anything
Oh,
like
Rookie
the
of the
kid.
Year, saying.
if he grew up and failed at life, I mean, that'd be a...
Well, folks, you got an hour and 45 minutes of this, so strap in.
Oh my god!
Or the pitching coach who gets stuck in
Yeah,
the...
Bobby, we're moving on.
A little interesting
for
tidbit though about that
comparisons.
rookie
Here
the
we
guy
go.
Thomas Ian Nicholas, the actor. He's a musician, and
Get outta here.
my friend Kevin, who I've known since high school, and I work with at Old Town. His band has played with his band many times. I actually met him and got a picture of him at his show like
Oh my God,
10 years ago at Penny Road Pub.
Oh, that's cool.
What does he play?
Whereas my friend player Thomas Ian Nicholas,
The actor.
a bunch of places. He tours all around Europe, America. It's like small, like a
No, but
smaller
what is he, a
band.
guitarist, a
Oh, he's a
vocalist?
lead singer and a guitarist. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's a really nice guy. Short, kind of too. He was only like 5'7", but
He was short
nice
in
guy.
American Pie
Dude,
movies.
and nice guy
That's
though, because
true.
we were talking about rookie of the year at work or whatever, and Kevin had he texted me. He has his number. He's like, "Hey, dude, we were just talking about your movies or whatever." Like 2 minutes later, he texted back, "Oh, that's so great, man. Hope you're doing well." Blah blah blah. Like, what a nice dude.
Wait, it's the same guy from American Pie.
Yeah,
no shit.
yeah,
Oh,
Captain
wow.
Nicholas.
Okay, wow. Just made that
Shout
connection
out
today.
Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Just
Hey,
made
man.
the connection today. Wow. All right.
I mean, he always seemed like a nice guy.
He is. He's a cool dude. But anyway, so what do we have on the agenda, Woj?
that was a nice
Okay,
little tangent.
so
yeah.
we're gonna just take a brief trip before we. I mean, today was the celebration of Roberto's friend Ryan's birthday.
Miss.
It's Ryan's birthday, but I started RO and I couldn't go back. But
Double down, I dig it.
it's Ryan's birthday. We do this every year. We do the annual Journeymen Lounge golfing outing.
Yeah.
We had Kyle, his brother, to join. He unfortunately had to go hit some volleyballs into people's faces. So I want to give the full fledged to that, but I just want to take a quick trip. So, I mean, Florida won NHL playoffs. I mean, Florida was just kicking ass the entire time. They were winning by like 3-4 goals each game in hockey. That's crazy.
It was decisive.
I think it was kind of like, hey, Florida, once they got to the cup, it was like, hey, they're gonna win. It seemed like very much.
It's still weird to me. They were so bad for so long.
Yeah. Now they're back.
Well, they're
to
back to back, so
Yeah.
I mean, and that Tkachuk dude, or I can't pronounce his last.
Kachuk.
Kachuk.
He had like torn, like he had like injuries. That's like, it's torn
Oh,
away
he,
from the bone. It's like, and he's out there skating and making it happen.
I mean, he cut his hand, in which he, instead of like stitches, they just glued it up. Like, that's how crazy hockey players are.
those guys,
Just like,
dude.
hey man, glue it up. Fucking put it
Put
back
me back
in place.
in. I'm fine.
Yeah, let's fucking play. I mean, that's
They're
again,
real men. So NHL, real men.
I mean, overall, NHL is just the most, I think, manliest sport. Like, yes, football is very hard hitting and all that shit, but you can just in general, like, the loyalty of the NHL, I think, is unmatched. I think.
Agreed.
I think you have guys literally going to kill themselves, for the team. Like,
Sure.
I don't give a shit what happened. You cut my neck, like you fucking slice my shit. Like, I'm gonna still suit up, just get back. NFL as like the second most like violent sport, like probably the most violent sport, but not the most loyal sport. Like, the NFL, just like, dude, like
Highest
you
payer.
see guys who go like, yeah, I'm not getting back out there. And it's like, it's a crazy concept to me of like, this is what you get paid to do. If
Or they'll have
you are
some
back
fake
out with
bullshit
some
injury.
players, it's like, if you get back out there, your team has a better chance of winning. You might win the game. And they're just like, nah, not
feeling
not
it.
getting back out there. I don't feel like it. Or like, oh, I have to look out for my career. It's like, it's a sad day, man. I mean, football's coming up, but I mean, any thoughts on the NHL playoffs? Because I mean,
I fucking loved it. You have high octane offense from Florida. Now Edmonton was able to, take 2 from them, but you saw those games are always, closely fought. But like Edmonton, there's just no answer. And then Florida's goalkeeper, fucking unreal too. Like that guy,
Bobrovsky.
He just like a brick wall. And you have Connor McDavid. You have a lot of great talent shooting at him, and nada. He kept it real low scoring.
Connor McDavid was
shooting on Florida.
Yeah, I think the tail of the tape was definitely the Edmonton goalies. Skinner let up so many different some
goals, of them were weak.
And on top of that, though, it's like they pulled them at a certain point. It fucks with the goalie confidence sure. Where you're like, hey, went back to Skinner in game 6, and then you got another 5 goals scored on him. It just was like their goalie. It was a perfect yin and yang. Florida's offense has been on fucking fire in Fuego, and you're going against a goalie who's kind of got some shaky confidence. I mean, I think Florida put up at least 4 goals every single game. Like, that's nuts.
That's unreal.
In the NHL playoffs.
And I like that they crash the net. They'll take a shot on goal, which might be a little contested, but give it a chance. And they have a bunch of guys right near there. All right, I'm going to put it right back. Just drop hit. Okay.
I mean, just again, overall, the NHL playoffs was one of the most enjoyable championships for right now. Right now, we got tonight in a couple hours. We have the
OKC
NBA Game 6.
About to take out the Pacers.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'll bet my fucking right nut that the series is over.
Agreed.
Especially, even if Halliburton comes and plays. Comes is a weird word. Sorry about that, guys. Even if Halliburton plays, he is not, to me, he's not enough of a difference maker that really alters the game. He's their best player, but to me, it's like,
that showed in Game 5, though. He didn't do shit.
But he was hobbled by an injury, but it's like nobody else stepped up. Like, you just have guys that, like, okay, you score 20 points here and there. You need a guy, and I firmly believe this in the NBA, you need a guy that can be able to score 35 points like that. Like, you need that spark in order to take over games and do stuff. To me, the Pacers, like, you can maybe argue Pascal Siakam, but
that's a stretch.
Like that reaction, even that is like I just don't see him as like I can just do 35 points if I need to or whatever.
Can we give some love for Turner? Holy shit. Game 5, putting up 40.
Miles Turner is a big bitch, and I hope he fucking you big bird-looking motherfucker. You fucking suck, man.
Oh my God!
How do you hate Miles Turner?
Dude. He's a soft. It's a fucking churchification of the fucking centers in the NBA. You soft.
40 points.
You soft like church music, man.
40 points in.
You're supposed to be 6'11", 7 feet tall, man. Right. You get work down low, man.
Not in the NBA. Everyone's 6'9". It's like.
I just think, man, some of these centers, man, I mean, you come in and you're like, okay, like, honestly, a center, 6'11", 7 feet, you're averaging like 4.5 rebounds a game. Like, you literally are one of the tallest people out there. You reach up, you have the best chance of getting the ball. How the fuck do you have 4.5 rebounds?
Do you have a bet for 4.5 rebounds?
You goddamn right. Fuck you, Miles Turner, you cocksucker.
Oh my God.
It's not really a rebounder, but yeah.
I'm just saying, I just hate the pussification of the centers in the NBA.
Hot. I agree.
They just don't look like they really want to like bang bodies down low and be like, yo, I'm gonna like Shaq was a dominator.
Oh yeah, he
like
took care of business.
going to physically I'm going to dominate Rafi.
Yeah.
He would assault the defense. It's like, try me. He'll back into you and be like, all right, try to keep up.
Right. I mean, he just goes at it, and when you see a center, like it takes away from the game. Like, to me, the basketball game is that you have all of these positions playing a specific function, and you don't do the same thing every single time, but you have this ability to be like, okay, if their team is weak in this position, we can exploit this. If they have a weak center or a weak help side, you can exploit it by running a fucking, high post with the center and then dishes it down to a cutting guy in the baseline. Like, there's ways of playing the game, and I'm just sad to say that just like I look at today's NBA, it just is
poor.
It's disheartening to see like this isn't basketball. This is, hey, can I get to the line? Can I get a wide open three?
Who's the better 3-point shooting team?
And then now, like, OKC Indiana is all about, like, okay, one team is going to have 20 turnovers, whether they're good turnovers from, like, a steal perspective, or they just simply are like, oh, just fumbled the ball. Oh, fumbled it again 4 times. It's just sloppy basketball at times. Like, you're in the finals, man. Like,
I know this doesn't count as a turnover, but from what I've seen, you have a bunch of guys, and this is throughout the playoffs, they're taking bad shots. Like, they're not allowing anything to progress. They'll just do a pull-up from fucking God knows where, contested, and just, like, it's all about them. I'm like, are you really that selfish where you're not going to take a second to, like, let things develop, but you'll run, just pull up from 38 feet just to give them the ball back? It's like, you just got a turnover. It's like, earn that turnover. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's my own thought, but I think a lot of selfish ball throughout the playoffs. A lot of selfish
I
ball.
think the NBA is easily NBA and NFL are easily one of the biggest places of, like, I need a contract. I need to do the best so I can get paid eventually. It's not about, hey, what's the best thing? I mean, OKC is given the best run of the money for, like, hey, we're all in. We're trying to win this shit. Clearly, they're the better team, but
well, they're all young. Their timeline,
Right. They're hungry.
Their timeline is in sync. You know, like SGA is only like what's like his
26 maybe,
year,
yeah.
5th year maybe, and then Jalen Williams is like his second year, and Chet Holmgren second or third year. Luke Dort probably like 3rd year, 4th maybe.
Holmgren's been good on the boards.
They're all young and fast and have chemistry and
Good coaching.
yeah, I mean, they're undersized, but I mean the NBA and today you can do that. You know,
Doesn't
it
matter.
is really weird though seeing like.
doesn't matter when you have Miles Turner going
No,
against
I
you.
know.
You have such a hate for him right now for not
Just-
hitting
it's
a
so
leg
weird
of
seeing,
your
like,
parlay.
like Luke.
It's not even that. He's a bitch. Go ahead.
Like Lou Dort's like 6'4", but he plays like small forward. That's like the size of
He's
like a point guard or a shooting guard.
He's a solid. He's got a very low center of gravity, so he can fucking hang with these.
Jalen Williams is a power forward, but he's like 6'6". Like it's so small.
No, Jalen Williams plays small forward at the most.
Well, they had listed him at power forward for the one game. I don't
There's
know.
there's another guy named Jalen Williams.
No, the Thunder guy.
There's another guy on the Thunder named
There's two
Jalen
Jalen
Williams.
Williams.
Jaylin, power forward. Jalen, shooting guard, small forward.
You could be
Are
right.
they both good, or there's one?
No, the other guy's fucking.
I'm talking about the
trash.
good guy.
Yeah,
he's
I'm
only-
saying he's listed as small forward.
Oh, I mean, I think they had a power forward the other day, but whatever.
I mean, if you want me to bring it up,
No,
and
I just
prove
think
you
I
wrong,
would. I would have.
I can.
I would have.
You wanna break up my
I would have
point.
listed him as small forward. That's why I was surprised when I had seen it.
because
Like,
you're looking at the wrong. You're looking at the other
I
Jalen.
don't think so.
Okay.
Up now.
I
We
know
have
what
to
he
pull out
looks like.
Google.
I
Now
know-
we have to pull
Well,
up
why
Google.
don't you guys segue? Because we're not even talking about NBA. We're just talking about one random guy anymore. Okay, so he's gonna win it. By the way,
Right.
it's over tonight.
Put some money
I
on
put
it.
my fucking right nut on that. But let's just go with the creme de la creme. I mean, today was Ryan's birthday. We did a little round.
Yep.
Why don't you guys talk about that amongst yourselves for a hot
I
second
am-
while I prove Ryan
I
wrong?
got really burnt, as you can see on the
you got
TV.
torched.
probably.
It's not that great of a camera, so they can't
Yeah.
see.
Well, it matches my shirt, so that's good. I picked the right shirt to wear. It was fun. It was like the weather was. It had poured a lot yesterday, so we were kind of worried about
It's a little wet out there, not terribly.
if we were going to be able to do car path only. If you're a golfer, that sucks. And-
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say we're both wrong because he's listed as a forward. Apparently, they have gotten rid of the small forward.
Oh, just forward.
It's just forward now.
Okay. Oh.
And
Well, another reason why NBA sucks. Can't even have position players.
but I'm just saying, like, there's a forward.
What, forward, center, and guard?
There's a
That's it.
forward. There's a power forward. There's a small forward. And then there's just what the fuck position is a forward?
Yeah.
Fuck you, ESPN and NBA.
Jesus Christ.
I'm done, man. Let's
But-
talk about something.
Yeah,
fun.
no, but back to the golf or whatever. As you
Sorry.
said, it poured.
Chipped
The,
in on first.
Well,
hit,
okay.
too.
Can we
Yeah.
do chronologically? Let's start with the first part and then get to the last part.
poured last night, so we were concerned about the cart stuff. Luckily, it was 90 degree, but we kind of pretty much did whatever we wanted.
Yeah, they didn't
basically.
care.
Didn't rain until the last hole today. We got 17 out of 18
Yep.
in. I'll just say that overall. And, yeah, it was fun. I was with Woj in the cart. My brother was with Bobby. Yeah, first hole, I chipped in for a par off the
That was
fringe
incredible.
with a Texas chipper. That was my best hole of the day, unfortunately. But, Overall it was fun. Like I said, I got a 48 on the front, and then on the back we did
Some contests.
different. We mixed it up. The first 3 holes we did scramble, which means, if you don't know, me and him were that team, me and Woj. So we would each hit a ball, and whichever one was the best ball, as we go. It's also
You
called
go to that, and then both hit from there.
So we play best ball.
Then we did alternate.
Then we'd alternate, which is what we did it with. Everybody gets the initial drive. And
But
then,
if you choose the person who's
depending on which shot you went with, if mine went in, or we used mine, then Woj would have to hit, and then I'd have to hit, and then Woj would have to
rotate,
hit.
just to keep left or right.
And then the last 3 holes we did cart golf. Was it called?
Yeah, just the cart.
So best score, we all hit. We hit every ball, and the best score between the person of you and your cart, you take that score. So we were down. Me and Woj were
decisively.
so
the first
like
3
4
we took.
holes or something. I don't know, whatever. We were down by 2.
No, down by 3.
3?
And then
So we ended up pushing the first hole. Then Bobby and Kyle won that second hole, so they were up 2. Then they won the next hole as well, so they were up 3. And then we pushed the next 3 in a row, so that the next 4 in a row.
4 in a row.
So 16 was worth 4
Strokes,
points or holes or whatever, and we ended up as a par 3. And Ryan and I both played like literally the exact same shots. We both hit the first shot short of the green, or like on the very front of the green, right?
On the edge of it, yeah.
And then both of our putts like went to the right side of it, and then I think we both, I don't remember.
You
if
one putted, I
tapped in.
2 putted.
You drilled it.
You
drilled it from
two-putted.
like 14 feet.
I don't think it was that quite, but like it was a lengthier putt that was like, again, the fact that it was 4 holes like essentially gets us back into contention, because if Bobby and Kyle won that hole, it's over.
It's over. Well, the hole before we could have ended it, so it was a par 3, so it went to par 3. I put it just right of the green, and this is when we're doing our alternate, and he put it just right to the green. I chipped it within about 3 to probably under 4 feet, and it was a pretty straight uphill shot, and he just missed it. And that would have been it. That would have been the fucking nail in the coffin. But hey, that's why it's golf. It's fun.
I mean,
I love being out there with you guys. It was a good time.
Thoroughly
I was pissy about it, but I love being out there.
Bobby started as soon as we started going
talking mad shit.
I mean, as soon as we started the head-to-head on the back 9, Bobby like flipped the switch and was like, "All right, now we're gonna fucking go head-to-head here." And I mean, to the victor go the spoils. I mean,
outside of his one putt, Ryan's back was hurting. All right, continue.
I mean, but we
both did well.
We
both did well. Yeah. I mean,
diminish your contribution.
Overall, I feel like I did mostly better today. A couple of the drives went right, but the irons were a little bit more consistent. Getting a lot more loft on it and arc. Just it kind of would either kind of go maybe a little right or a little left. So just got to lock in the accuracy, and I think it's good. And then so we got it was a beautiful day most of the day till probably about the back 9, and then this is where I got burned.
The sun came out hot.
And then it just poured on us all of a sudden. We couldn't even finish the last hole. Like, I guess there was like a thunder warning.
There was lightning
in the area
right as like the very first thing, but I don't think there was lightning after that. And the guy was like, "Hey, you got to go in."
Realistically, we wouldn't have got in because it poured as soon as we had to.
I mean, honestly, I told you later is that like if we tried to finish that, it would have been miserable because we would have been probably getting to the green as it's pouring, and then you're like, "All right, should we like try and hop out real quick and finish it?"
And it was coming out.
No, the
hard.
Ranger would have been like, "Yo, get your shit." Like he probably would have doubled back.
Probably.
It was coming down super hard, and like unfortunately, this Glendale Lakes Golf Club, you can't take the golf cart out to your car.
So yeah, we had to.
So you had to carry it like fireman style to the fucking car.
Well, I mean, Ryan and I made the right choice. We grabbed all our shit, threw it in the car, and then got there while it poured. Whereas some people like were kind of the one group of guys were like sitting in their car, and I'm like, it's pouring sideways. You're getting fucking soaked.
Right.
And they were just
sit it out.
They were just sitting there like, oh, it'll pass. And then eventually they had to run inside. I'm like, you guys are idiots.
I also got to say, to add to the craziness of the day, my phone has been on the fritz, if you will.
Yeah, you had to ask for directions on the way over.
Yeah, so
old school.
My screen's cracked, and I may or may not have gotten, I don't know, water or something. I don't know. So like whenever I try to touch it, it's just not registering my touch, or it's registering a touch I'm not doing. So for a while on the way to the golf course, I couldn't get my phone open for my GPS. So I had to stop at the gas station and ask a man for directions and write it down in my
What, like it's
golf
1972?
scorecard. But thankfully, actually, on the way, it started working again. But then all day throughout the course, I kept trying to like look at things, and it was kind of hit or miss. So that was frustrating. It's working as of now. But I'm gonna get a new one here.
Time for a new phone.
Regardless, I'm getting
Birthday
a new
present.
one. But that could have been bad today if I couldn't make the fucking. I left like early enough too. And I'm like, oh great.
I
And-
definitely had you like showing up 5 minutes to
Yeah.
post.
Oh no, I'm not like that. No way.
5 minutes to post.
No
That's
way.
great.
I can't cut it that close. The most maybe would be like 10 minutes. And I wouldn't even want to do that. That's too much.
Okay.
So like I need to stretch and things. I don't be running to the tee box. Like I mean I've done it before, but now I don't
It's not
usually. No. Like,
All right.
Preferred.
Well, Len, while we're on golf, we had the U.S. Open. You guys saw his performance. We
The
had,
one guy in the 60.
Had the, Oakmont, which is in just outside of Pittsburgh, or
I think it's on the East Coast. I couldn't.
yeah,
tell
but
you where.
-2 for the win.
was 64 foot
Minus
putt
one.
for the win. That was sick. Yeah, I actually watched a good amount of it. I was at work and we have a TV in the back. So like I don't usually watch golf, but since it was just on in the background when I was doing things, I would get the glance up every now and then.
And he was in the lead on Thursday too. I think he fell out on Friday and maybe like climbed back on Saturday. But Spawn, good job. I think this is his first major, right? It's got to be.
I think it's his first, definitely his first major, but I think it's his first tour win since like 2021.
So hey, there you go. Good job.
Either way, yeah, great for him. I'm not really a fan of a course being so hard that
I'm cool with
professionals are not able to score. And if I'm being honest, I don't want to see bogey golf because I can do that. There was a guy that was like plus 28.
I could do that.
I could do that.
It's
So
like I could definitely do
I don't
that
want to
too,
see a
man.
professional doing that.
You know what? Though it rewarded the people to hit fairway. It really did.
I get that, but it shouldn't be that the rough is so diabolical that if you hit it in the rough, you are essentially going for a double bogey.
Isn't that kind of like Scottish golf though? Essentially, right? If you do like Whistling Straits. If you're off in the rough, you're basically.
I don't know Scottish golf all that well, to be honest. But
Same.
Okay, Scottish golf, I'm going to just paraphrase here. They don't have any trees, so it's not like you could hook it into the woods.
well, isn't that links or what? What's the wide
Links
open?
is when you have like fairways that if you go right, you're on someone else's fairway.
Oh,
but
okay, so what's the wide open?
So that's Scottish, like original Scottish golf. You had think
Okay.
about Scotland. It's not like they have fucking trees there, but
Well, they got cliffs though.
they got cliffs, they got sheep and shit, but it's just like,
They have dogs.
but that's the idea though. It's like wide open, but if you miss the fairway, man, you're in dire straits. So.
Okay. I mean,
same
hey
concept.
man, good on him. I'm not taking anything away from. If
No, I know.
anything, it's a great victory to have. I mean, as opposed to the Masters, which was on like a couple months ago, like I was that was a hard course. I was much more into that, just because the guys were able to score. But
I mean, that's why it's the Oakmont. I guess it's one of the hardest, or if not the hardest.
Oakmont can suck my butthole. Yeah, I pretty much can play Oakmont after today. Oh boy.
Alrighty.
No, I didn't play terribly, but we played the games on the back, which allow you to kind of like fuck up. Like I hit a bad shot, and I was like, all right, I got you,
Well, you
dude.
finished the front nine with a birdie and a fucking par. That ain't
I mean,
bad.
I was definitely picking it up on the last couple holes, but it was more the thing of like if we kept score the whole time, I probably would have shot high 90s, mid 90s for sure. Just was
There was
not-
a few holes there you were just topping it, or just it
was
wasn't
just
happening.
not a day. Drives getting topped like going like 50 yards. It was like never a good sign.
I think
so.
I've been around 95, 96.
I would have put you under a hundo for sure today. All right, let's get into the album. We're talking
Okay.
about Shady.
Yeah, so it was my choice last week, and it's the Eminem Show. It's Eminem's third album.
Sure.
Shit ton of track list on
I
this.
have it came out in 2002.
2002.
2002.
Cool
it
album cover.
Yeah, it's a cool album cover. The album incorporates heavier use of rap rock than Eminem's previous albums, and a lot more. And there's some government kind of stuff in it. At this time, it was like George Bush and stuff. It's widely considered. I'm sorry. His best. It was both the best-selling album of 2002 in the U.S. and the best-selling album worldwide of 2002.
Okay.
Along with being the best-selling hip-hop album in music history and Eminem's most commercially successful album to date. It's 12 times platinum. Sold
Holy
worldwide 27 million copies. One of the best selling albums of all time. Second best selling album of the 21st century at the 2003 Grammys. It won Best Rap Album, and many publications and music, magazines name it, have named it among the best albums of the decade.
I believe that too.
Okay.
Honestly, it's an incredible
So
album.
the singles off it, I'm gonna go over the whole track, but
Yep.
the singles off it were "Without Me," "Cleaning Out My Closet," "Superman," "Sing for the Moment," and "Business." And then I'm gonna read the tracks, then we'll go over like our kind of experience, and then we'll just break down the tracks.
Sure.
So it starts with the Curtains Up the skit, and then it's White America, Business, Cleaning Out My Closet, Square Dance, another skit called The Kiss, Soldier, Say Goodbye to Hollywood, Say Goodbye Hollywood, Drips featuring Obi Trice, Without Me, Paul Rosenberg skit, Sing for the Moment, Superman featuring Dina Ray, Hallie Song, Steve Berman skit, When the Music Stops featuring D12, Say What You Say featuring Dr. Dre, Till I Collapse featuring Nate Dogg, My Dad's Gone Crazy featuring his daughter Haley Jade, and finally is the skit to close it out with The Curtains Close. So I know you guys obviously know Eminem, and they're familiar with Eminem because we did the Marshall Mathers second Marshall
your
Mathers
pick,
LP.
too.
No, I think
It's
that was
gotta be.
that was yours actually.
That was
Bobby.
mine.
Oh no.
Oh, or
kidding.
whoa, just one of you guys say it wasn't me.
It was mine.
So I know you have experience with Eminem, but specifically, how about with this album or any of these songs specifically? I know you guys probably know Without Me and stuff, but did you listen to this album at all before I made you listen to it, or just the hits?
Oh, hell
What's your? Give me something, guys.
So this came out in 2002. So I was a freshman going into high school. So yeah, I think over the summer I probably heard every track that was at least musically available on the radio. But a few of my friends had this album, and they'd put it on while we're hanging out and whatnot. So I might not have known the track title at the time, but man, this is a fucking great jam. Like I outside of some of the dumb skits, great fucking great album.
I was introduced to Eminem definitely in high school. Like that's when
So you're a late bloomer.
Mine was middle school,
Well,
or going into middle school.
everybody's a late bloomer when they're younger than you.
Well, I mean, Eminem was around since like 1999. So
Right.
But again, I mean, there's a large portion of that where like the content and the lyrics of what he's saying is like. In 2002, I was 11. That's a little, I think, on the young side of
Okay.
being introduced to Eminem, and really aside
That's
from
fair.
just knowing the beats, again, it's with anything, you get older, you more experience more,
More exposure.
you start to kind of understand what he's saying. Like if I heard the White America song in
You would be able to
2002,
connect
I'd
the
be
dots.
like, I don't know
What
what
does
he's
that mean?
saying
Yeah.
at all. So I'm just saying that was once I'm introduced to him in
Context.
2006-ish, all of his albums then kind of come with it. Yes, the hits obviously were commercially played at that point. I mean, but with any Eminem album, up until that point, I definitely listened to everything and then obviously pick and chose. I'm much more of a this album over that. Marshall Mathers was, I think, a little bit more of my go-to as opposed to this. There's definitely hits on this, but not the other songs on
This
that
would be
were
close to my go-to though. Between those two.
Go-to. That's my experience. Go
okay.
on.
Well, this is a go-to for me, 100%. I was 12 going on 13 when this came out, so 7th grade going to 8th grade, that summer. I think my friend at the time, Derek Corbecki, shout out.
Shout out. We know you're watching.
Right.
My former best friend from elementary school.
There it is.
What happened? Let's discuss that.
He
for
moved to
20 minutes.
Algonquin.
I'm kidding.
He just moved.
All right, just moved a
Yeah,
little bit. All right.
I saw him again at ISU years later. He invited me to a party. So
There you go.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
All right, nice.
But yeah, so he burned me this CD. Obviously, I was already an
Nice.
Eminem,
Burning CDs.
somewhat of an Eminem guy. But yeah,
LimeWire.
I used to listen to this CD all the time. I used to go to summer camp, not away summer camp, but kind of like a daycare. Every day you'd go and
After school. Or
after
some
school, or even in the summer, we'd go for the whole day. We'd go to the arcade or the pool, or
Sure.
it's we're driving in a van. I have my Walkman. I'm always listening to my CDs. This is one of the CDs that I would listen to all
No,
the
that
time.
checks. I get that.
And in high school, when we had study hall, same thing in the hallways. Like, this is one of the go-tos. I know, like,
On your Walkman?
yeah, all these songs, like, pretty much inside out. And it's my favorite Eminem album. I think, like, most people maybe wouldn't say that, but I think it's his best. I
think it's his best.
I like that it's still got the hard stuff of the first two, but it's a little more less crazy. Like, there is still crazy shit. Don't get me wrong. It's Eminem.
I think it's more personal.
But it's a little more personal. It's a little more polished in places, and it's a little like I said, it kind of leans into more like some more like rock type beats. There's hip hop beats too, but like I don't know, it's like not as like say like crazy. Like Marshall Mathers LP or the Slim Shady LP is a lot more darker
Unhinged
and like
over,
unhinged. Yeah, this is kind of like a balance of he still has
It's a good
some of that,
blend,
but he's
yeah.
also moving on into like more
a more mature,
pure kind of. I'm gonna say pure, but like what the right word? But rap, like less
more in his
crazy,
elements, I don't know,
I guess, but like still, but like less. I don't know. Yeah, it's my favorite. I love this album, so that's why I chose it because it's my birthday. I figured let's do one that I know pretty damn well, and this would be that one.
Okay.
So, but if anybody were to say like, hey, the Slim Shady LP is my favorite or the best, or the Marshall Mathers will be, that's a fair argument.
Okay,
They're all
yeah.
good. Like, I mean, dealer's choice, honestly. So yeah, let's just go through the tracks. Do our like little rankings and descriptions if we want. So the Curtains Up skit, I didn't give that a ranking because it's just
skits I'm giving passes on
the
most
skits. Like, we can make a comment if you want, but I mean, I didn't give any grades for them. I mean, I think it goes with the theme of it's the Eminem Show, so the curtains come up. That's what he was going for, type of thing. I don't. What would you have something look like? You have something.
Yeah, I would just say that Eminem and the production. I'm a flow guy, so the production of his albums, I think, is very well done. So I understand like this is a very theatrical part of it, even though it is very like simple of just like the sound of a curtain raising on a performance or whatever. But like I do think the skits serve a purpose in this, that like he does kind of do, at least some of them. And then also I just want to mention about skits in general is that if the artist is a comedic person, usually the skits work better overall, because then they're like a divergence of the songs and like this content, and then it's like, hey, we're taking a break, we're doing whatever, and usually again they try and serve a purpose of doing stuff. I will say that in certain albums, like if skits just went away, and in most albums, honestly, I'd be absolutely fine. There's no skits that I look at going like, I'm really happy that they included this. They're just kind of indifferent to me.
As Abraham Simpson would say, it was a style at the time.
It was.
Many artists did this, and Eminem on his first two albums before this, he has Steve Berman skits on every album. He has Paul Rosenberg skits on every album. So he's just continuing that tradition or whatever that he has done. And then the other things, I don't mind them. Like I've been listening to this album like countless thousands of times.
Sure.
So like to me, it's whatever. I think like I enjoy maybe some more than others, but like if they weren't on there, it wouldn't bother me or anything. Like, but like they are, like they're not that long and they're not that bad. So
I'll at least give them that. At least it's not like a 3-minute fucking ordeal.
Yeah, they're like usually like 30 seconds to a minute tops, if that even. So
I think they're done well for skits, but again, if they just went away, I would also be absolutely fine with that.
Yeah.
They're not
It
crucial
was
to the
style
album.
at the time.
it was all right. So the opening track number 2, White America. I kind of wish this wasn't the opening track. I think the next one actually should be, but I'll get into that in a minute. But it's a decent song. Like honestly, like it's just like comparison to the rest of the songs on the album, it's probably the second worst, I would think, for me. Like Eminem kills it as usual, but
I was gonna say, man, I thought his
he
style
does.
on
He
this
kills
one
it.
was
But
good.
it's just like, but in comparison to the rest of the album, I don't really listen to this one as often. Like I'm I'm likely to skip it probably, but it's listenable. Like I don't hate it. I gave it like a 3.5, like 3 to 3.5. Like
That's kind of where it falls in, but I really, I like I said, I think the lyrics, his delivery for this song, at least sets the stage.
Yeah,
to
no,
an
it
extent.
definitely does.
Like, could it be switched out? Sure, but I don't mind it. It's a fun song.
Yeah, I would say I disagree about like the order of the songs. I think this is
You thought this one's fine? Okay.
I think it's a fine song to start on. I did enjoy the
Professor
cadence.
Flo.
I literally wrote it down for every song, so I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say it one time up top. Obviously, Eminem is one of the greatest lyricists and use of cadence of all time.
Yeah.
So in every single song, no matter if I did not like the song or I did like the song,
He kills it.
the
Right,
lyrics and the way in which he's rapping in it is fantastic. So I just wrote that down for any. I'm not going to mention it every single time. The only negative I would say about this song is that I thought that the chorus, it was used way too many times. I think they repeated it upwards of like 20 to 25 times, whereas I would think just like extend the chorus out a little bit and then don't use it as much, and then I would enjoy it a lot more. But like I said, overall, like a 4, 3.5, 4 song for sure.
All right, so Business. I love this one. Love the beat, like the intro with the whole Batman and Robin thing, like Marshall sounds like an SOS. Holy wax and lyrics, and Andre, you're fucking right. To the rap, and then the song just like kicks in. Like to me, like this song should be the opening one. Also, many times during the song, he says the host for the evening. Like that's kind of like to me, like you're opening the album, the Eminem Show. Like I'm the host for the evening, kind of thing. Like I think it would tie in well, and it's more upbeat. But I love the beat, the bass, the guitar riffs, like spliced in with the turntables. Catchy chorus. As Woj said, every song is gonna have great flow by Eminem. So yeah, I think to me this could have been the opening. I give it as a 5 for me. I love this one.
Oh, that's a banger. I for context too, as you described it, I could see why this would make more sense at number 1.
I said a solid hook, but an okay song overall. I'm going 3.
Ooh.
God, this fucking Russian judge over here.
It's okay. We
like white America more than in Business? Really?
That's okay.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised. I can't believe it.
No.
Are you all right? Do you need a timeout?
I mean, this is
Here we go. Come on.
Skip Bayless over here.
Oh, fuck you. That's blasphemous. I don't think I'm Stephen A.
You are not
You don't
Stephen
have
A.
you don't have the thesaurus of Stephen A. to pull off Stephen A.
Stephen A is a fucking idiot, and I hope you're watching this.
I hope
Hey, I'm just gonna say the most outlandish shit ever, and I hope people watch it.
That's pretty much how it goes.
Fucking idiot.
Clean Up My Closet, the next one.
Love
Obviously, this is like one of his most famous songs of all time. It's one of the singles. I put passionate lyrics from Eminem. Again,
dark fucking.
the beat's catchy. I said it's like, I put it like, I like it, but it's not one I always like to listen to compared to other tracks again. Like, it's a great song. It's nothing wrong with it. I just, like I've heard so many times, it might be one that I found again. But I gave it a 4. It's a 4-star for me.
I love this. I'd say probably 4.5 for me. But I like to your point. I think that you have to be listening to this in the right mindset. Like I can't be cruising with the top down, listening to Cleaning Out My Closet.
No,
right.
no.
So it's like you gotta be in the right mindset. If you chilling at home, it's a stormy day or something like that. Fucking yeah, throw this one on. Like that'll match that mood.
I get
but
that.
Yeah, if I'm about to go to the beach, I'm not throwing this shit on.
Exactly.
Sure. This is a certified banger for me. Certified banger.
This is a certified
I
hood
mean,
classic.
Without a doubt, I mean, this is one of the ones that Eminem I just listened to when I was growing up, and I was like, yeah, that's good. Now, Eminem has a side of him, for me at least, where it's like more brooding and kind of what Ryan, you were saying about like the fact that like the more, I think edgy was not the right word that you used, but like something along those lines.
It's more political and stuff a little bit sometimes, and this less like homicidal.
A little more genuine.
Well, I'm saying no, that side of Eminem where he's talking about homicide and killing. Also, Eminem did a great song with Logic, Homicide. It's a great song. Check it out. But I'm just saying overall, like this is where that song falls in the category. I like the poppy Eminem, but I also like the fucking like, hey, I'm a fucking psycho like Amityville.
Yeah, from Amityville. Yeah. Next one, Square Dance. I was gonna say off the top, I feel like for me, I might give certain ones higher ones than you guys probably will, and I accept that. Like, but I like this one. I think the chorus is like odd, like the square, but like I love the beat, and he rips the verses. I mean, I had it as like a 4 to 4.5, depending on.
I'm sorry. I'm going Russian Judge. I'm like 2.5, 3.
No, as I said,
maybe.
I know that maybe people like I could see people not liking it.
I don't think it was crafted as well as it could be.
Because it's an odd hook, you know, or whatever.
Right, exactly.
But the parts in between and the beat that goes with that.
Yeah, but now we're dissecting.
But I know, but I'm saying those parts are really good. So to me, if it had a better chorus, I would maybe be tempted to give it.
I'm just saying that's like, a pile of shit finding a diamond, another pile of shit finding a diamond. So it's like collectively it's still a pile of shit, but yeah, there's some I guess bright spots in there. Okay.
Yeah, I am kind of agreeing with you guys though, is that the chorus or hook, whatever you fucking want to call it, like when you don't like that part of the song, it makes you hard to like the song because it's so repetitive. Again, the Eminem lyrics and lyricism that he provides saves the song in somewhat. Like, I don't have any song on here where I go, I cannot listen to the song as an absolute hard skip. But I think overall that this song is definitely one that falls super short because for a chorus, like, it's something that my opinion is that the segmentation of that, where you go like in this song, he's like stop and oh, and like that's how he kind of like sounds in terms of the chorus, is like it's like breaking up kind of
pitchy almost.
It's again, it still works in terms of like it's enjoyable somewhat to listen to, I'm sure, to some people, but like when that's the thing that's played over and over and over again, I find it being like, God damn, if you just got that part kind of figured out, the other parts where he throws in, or I don't know if there's a feature on this or not, but like it's just the fact that like the other parts are good, and then if you have the chorus kind of being a little bit more together or a little bit more flowing, where I'm like, oh shit, I think this song would definitely be higher up for me. But it's honestly, it's probably like a 1 star for me.
Oh my God, get the fuck out!
Wow, he's taking this personal.
Okay, I'm taking it personally. It's a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not kidding, but that's okay.
No, I'm not. That's fine. I just wow. That's okay. White America better than that.
Thought this was a free country.
I'm getting a bunch of ammo for your golfing. I'm like, yeah, this album sucks. And
I mean, hey Bobby, how'd that shit talk treat you today?
Well, his brother didn't show up. So
well, he's doing. I mean, I was gonna say for this song though, he's doing a shtick. Like the whole idea is, he's doing like a country guy,
That's his review.
No, I'm just saying like it's part of the. I'm not saying it's my favorite or whatever, but like that's part of the title and the thing. He's doing like a country guy, and again, I think that the parts, as I discussed, outside of the chorus parts, are that good where it makes up for that. I mean, a 1? Really, a 1?
He's
I understand
still having
what
a hard
you're
time processing
saying,
that.
and it doesn't do it for me, dog.
Can we move past this? Thank you.
I can't. No, I can't do it.
Okay, well, that's the pod, guys.
Well, take
hey,
care.
have a good day.
See you next time.
Oh my God! All right,
Moving on.
Next is the kiss skit. I think this is the one where he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill the girl," and then he's fucking around with his friend. And he, I don't know, shoots the thing at the end or something, if I recall correctly.
Skits. Yeah.
Okay.
Soldier is next. Got Eminem goes hard. I like the beat. I bet the chorus is decent. It could be better. It's a 4 for me.
Yeah, I'd say a 3.5, 4. It's a good beat. It's not gonna raise your eyebrows, but it goes along with the flow of this album. So there it is.
I definitely like the quicker tempo. I mean, Eminem again, just
Yep, it's Eminem, man.
Flame throwing on it. I'd probably go a 3.5, 4.
Yeah, it's got like that military, like the little drum to it. Kind of goes
March
with,
cadence.
Yeah. Say goodbye Hollywood. This is like one probably argue my favorite on the album. It's 5 for me. It's a favorite from him on the album and in general from Eminem. Catchy as hell. I mean, the whole thing, the way it's put together, the beat, everything, like he kills it. And also, I like it because he's using the movie Alpha Dog, and it reminds me of Alpha Dog. I like that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking great movie.
Interesting movie.
5, banger.
Yeah.
Love it. My favorite one on this album.
Yeah, I say it's probably my favorite. It's if not, it's second.
Well, Woj just got a little bit of pullback there.
Your favorite?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome.
Okay, hold on. He's about
It's
to
like different and like
rank it low, send him to fucking Mars.
I'm gonna give this 2 stars because it's repetitive.
Fucking is.
It's more than 2 stars, but to me, this is not a certified banger. This is a good song. Again, I mean, to me, this album has a lot of songs that I think Eminem if this was anybody else than Eminem, I'd be going, this song is a skip. Like, Eminem is able to save these songs to good, maybe great in some terms, but like, again, just to me, like the cadence that he uses that I notice, like, after you go through, what is this, 17, 18 songs, something like that, I find that the cadence in this album specifically, it seems very repetitive. Like, he's using kind of a similar cadence, whereas I've seen, again, he definitely diverts in other songs, which I think I have it notated down of when he does that. But I do find that, like, there are a lot of, like, repetitive cadences. He's sounding great on it, but with a guy like that, and again, knowing, like, we have literally 20, 30 years of Eminem at this point almost, like, we know he could rap on anything. I just want to see or hear different tempos, different, like, you know,
All right, yeah,
changes
wrap it
and
up,
stuff
man.
like
We
that.
got it. I mean, we're going on like 3 minutes for one song. There's 20.
Yeah, man, like, I'm saying a sentence of the review of it.
Go for it. Go on, keep going.
So let me pontificate on Article 3 of my.
No, I was doing fine, and I was actually
He's got
wrapping it up,
Yeah.
and then you
weren't,
fucking
though, man.
say that
You're
shit.
filibustering the shit out of this
No,
album.
he's not.
All
He's
right.
giving his thoughts. Go ahead.
Giving my thought. Let's go.
Not everybody's as brief as you, Bobby. We have some thoughts. It's okay.
All right,
Doesn't
next
make 'em
song.
Right. It's just a long wrong answer. That's
Well,
all.
it's everything has got their own opinion. It's okay.
He's like driving to Nebraska. He's like, this John Denver's full of shit. I mean, that's essentially
Well,
what's
we were questioning why he didn't like it, and he was explaining it. You got to give him a chance to explain.
Next song. Here we go.
He hates me.
All right, yeah, Drips with Obi Tries. This is the worst one for me.
It's okay.
It's probably the worst song. Subject matter is not my favorite. Hook's not my favorite either. Again, he like watches like Eminem is so
Say-
good that it makes it fine. I gave it a 2.5, but I could
2.
could be a skip for me.
2 and Eminem definitely saves. But
Yep, 2.5, and what I said before, similar cadence. To me, this is one of those songs that they seem like, again, he's rapping in a similar cadence, but again, just like the genius of what lyrics he uses still is like, it's not something where I'm like, oh, you're just using the same words or like syllables every single time. He just keeps coming up with new shit. And then my favorite thing that he does in almost every song is like he takes like one word and then or like one ending syllable, and then he just kind of like flips it like 6 different ways, and just like ba 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 ba. Like, those are always the best because you're like, oh shit, I didn't even think of like.
he's
How
a
did-
guns. No, but you're
How
right.
did he even think of
He's
that?
a gunslinger like that. He knows how to pull that kind of stuff. And you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned his cadence. It'll be like A B C B A B B B. You know, it always follows that same do 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 do. You know, so
He definitely ends kind of like on a thing where it's almost like kind of comical, like kind of how somebody would be like, "Oh right, you fucker." I don't know.
Well, yeah, but he's working it to work with the thing. That's what
I'm not saying it's a bad
no,
thing.
he
I'm saying,
structures a
saying
setup
it's-
by doing that.
It's a thing that's like he's very, again, comical in nature. And again, when sometimes he's saying these raps where, like, I mean, just a prime example in the 8 Mile movie, he's like, you know, talking about doo-doo or what, I forget what the exact line was in the 8 Mile movie. But, like, you know, it's like childish kind of rap. But, like, again, it still works somehow. Like, again, because he's so smart with the different words to rhyme with that. That's not something that you would think.
You know,
I like that. I like the mystery of like, what the fuck is he gonna say next?
But
like,
he
how
has
is
some
he gonna rhyme
cohesion
this?
to it, which I like. It's not just random, like, you know, he's not jumping from A to Z and there's no thought between it. Like, I at least for the lyrics that I'm listening to, it's not like, you know, the zebra and guy got shot. It's like, you know, there isn't a huge gap
that
between.
doesn't rhyme, though.
No, I know that. I'm just saying in general, even if it rhymed, it's like he doesn't rhyme just to make it rhyme. There's usually some type of flow or cadence, like you were saying, not just random words that just simply rhyme. You know what I'm saying? There's like a story.
I mean, he's a master of breaking down syllables to making it fit within his whatever he wants to say, whether it's a not political, but like just the content of the words, like to make that work, or that doesn't
You
necessarily
could
rhyme,
deconstruct the shit out of it. Yeah.
or it's words that do rhyme, and it's like, again, it's not the simple. It's not fucking black with crack.
Right.
You know, it's not that simple. It's definitely interesting, and like I said, it makes me like always like look like, okay, what the fuck is he gonna say next? Like, oh, I didn't think of going there. It's crazy. Like, I don't know how his brain works like that.
For sure, dude. Yeah, he's one of a kind.
Lightning in a bottle.
Without Me is the next one. That's obviously the first single and the biggest single probably
Banger.
off of it. Yeah, the lead single is catchy as hell. I know every word to it.
Yeah.
It's a 5. I mean, it's a 5.
Same, certified bang.
But like, yeah, like I've heard it so many times. Again, if sometimes maybe I'm not in the mood for it, but it's always good. Like
Always in the
it's
mood
never,
for it.
It's never.
I was
not.
gonna say I don't think I could not
Play it at my
give
goddamn funeral. I don't give a
Deal.
shit.
Next is the Paul Rosenberg skit, which is
Yes.
whatever.
That's what his manager, right? It's gotta be.
Yeah, I think so, or something
All
like
right.
that. And then you got Sing for the Moment. It's another single off the
Certified
album.
banger.
Yeah, banger. 5 for me.
Overplayed though. I'll just say that.
Love the Aerosmith sample from Dream with Dream On. Does a good job blending in the rap with it. And,
I honestly, I think he kind of took advantage of the popularity of like, when did Miracle came out? What? Oh,
I thought it was Armageddon with
2001,
4.
2004.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I mean, I just think that like it worked in perfectly with his sample of it is like kind of like a resurgence into that, and then like that movie came out and people were like, dude, Aerosmith are like, to me that was kind of my resurgence of Aerosmith, of like they started becoming more popular in movies, and like again I heard them aside from that, but I'm like, okay, now you have like when rappers start sampling your shit, you kind of know you made it. Like
That's fair. That's a good watermark.
Yeah. Next one is Superman, which is another single off the album. This is one of my favorites.
I'm going banger as well.
I could see someone not liking it, I was going to say, but for me, it's a 5. Again, I know every word.
Certified banger.
It is.
It's, it's a little controversial at times, but it's just his.
I mean, what
his
Eminem
flow
song
is-
I know,
isn't?
right?
Right. His flow is great. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's catchy as hell. It's just, I love it. It's great.
I mean, to anybody who's watching this for the first time, like, you should always give Eminem a chance, knowing that, like, yes, he will say controversial things, but the controversy works. Okay, it's not coming from a place, at least what I think is like a place of hate
Or anger, yeah.
and just saying like, yeah, I want to fucking, like, a lot of his songs, and honestly, even in this album, there's a couple songs like, nah, I'm just playing, like White America. At the end of it, he's like, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
And Homicide, that song that I was mentioning before, I'm just playing. Like, he's just joking around. But, like, again, I understand that the content can sometimes divert people away from it. But, like, overall, it's, dude, like, you can't listen to the song and go, like, it's a bad song. Like, all of this shit is like, hey, this is a great song. You might not agree with what he's saying, but, music is to fucking be enjoyed. I don't know.
I think this actually could create dialogue too, like for people that have heard this music, and like it is culturally relevant. Like we grew up, Eminem was culturally can't speak
Culturally relevant.
and like granted, this might put him in hot water, but fuck it, at least it starts a conversation. So I'm fine with something like that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Haley's song is next.
That was all right.
I actually like this one a lot. This is among my favorites for me. I like how it's a little more sentimental and emotional about his daughter, and like I love the chorus, like the whole thing with
Isn't he bitching about marrying his wife the whole time, or like?
some of it I think is more about just like how he wanted to have a better life for her or something, or like his daughter, and like how he wishes things could have been better, but he's got his daughter at least no matter what.
Yeah, but isn't that the same song? He's like, "Why did I stick my dick in that?" Like,
yeah, well, he's
so
saying
isn't that kind of counterproductive?
well,
Like,
he's
baby, you're my
saying
world, but
he hates his he hates his wife, at least at the time. But
Right.
out of all of it, at least he got the most important person, his daughter.
Okay.
So that's kind of the whole thing. Yeah, it's again, I'm probably gonna be in the minority, but it's a 5 for me. I like it.
3.5.
This is for
Haley's song.
Haley's song. I can take or leave it. Probably 2.5, 3. I would say again that's a solid. It's a solid one, middle of the road. Moving on.
Horrendous takes. Steve Berman skit.
Yeah.
Whatever. When the music stops with D12. I love this one for me. I like how it's him and ND12. It's more of a classic hip hop type song. It could have been the final track, honestly. It's called When the Music Stops, so it makes sense kind of if it was.
Well, the title, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the way it sounds too.
Yeah, too. It does come to a kind of a conclusion. A halt.
Again, it's probably like a 5 for me. Again, I like this one.
Another
a lot.
banger for you.
Well, I told you that I like this album a lot.
I know you listen to it on repeat. I get it. So you're nostalgic for it. I put this more at 3.5. It's. I'm not the biggest fan of D12. I'll just put that out there. So it's kind of like Jade's.
Well, I think outside of the Bizarre verse, which he always has weird verses, I think all the other guys are really pretty good, and Eminem's obviously the best. But I like the way they kind of go off each other. And it's a little different than the rest of the album. It's kind of a little different the way it sounds. So I like it.
All right, I can understand that.
I take it or leave it. It's
Another what?
2.5, 3.
These terrible takes. Left and right. It's okay. All right. Take it or leave it. That's
so
fine.
pissed.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. That's the majority of the last songs of the album. I think he kind of
Wow. This is
Let off-
horrible.
Let's keep going. Yeah, let's
Horrible.
plow through
kind of
it.
let off the gas, if you know what I mean.
I disagree completely. I think he pumped the gas full throttle. What are you talking about?
I'm actually on Woj's side for some of these other ones. Go ahead,
Oh
though.
my god! All right, I don't even want to. You just whatever. Say what you say, Dr. Dre. This song's fucking awesome. You guys don't like say?
No,
what
I like Dre. This song.
the beat's great. They got back and forth. Like
I like the back.
what is bad about the song? I want to hear it, please. Because it's repetitive and the cadence.
It's repetitive.
Every rap song's repetitive.
It's repetitive.
You focus way too much on the repetitive.
He's a flow guy. He even mentioned that.
It's like I don't know, like rap songs. The chorus. I'm sorry.
He's
They
taking this
repeat.
so
They
personal.
repeat.
Every song has a chorus that repeats. Fair?
Yes. So
Okay. What I'm saying, though, is that this is definitely not this song in particular, but I'm just saying is that there are a lot of rap songs that when the chorus repeats too much, to me, and again, this is my opinion, is that my brain goes to the bullshit that is rap today, in which mumble rap is literally the same fucking thing said over and over and over again, and the dumbasses that listen to that shit today think that that's like, oh shit, this is great. I like this one part. It's like, no, I like to be wine, dine, and 69 during an album. Eminem is fucking phenomenal. And again, in this song, the other parts are so great. But again, when you come back to the part that is repeated the most, I want to enjoy that part. Those are my favorite songs. I mean, it's not a shocker. It was like a chorus that repeats itself that I love. I'm going to like that song a lot more. I'm just saying. In this song, this is not my favorite.
I don't think it's fine. I just don't think it's a bad chorus. I think it goes with the flow of the song, and like I just don't.
I mean, I gave it a 3.
Yeah, that's like okay. That's like a C. It's like eh.
I'm with him on this though. It's like 2.5, 3.
Or like a
but like Dre,
C plus.
I like the back and forth, but you're right. It just becomes kind of just copy paste.
I mean, I think all songs are like that. That's literally like you just don't like the chorus. Maybe okay, you don't like the chorus, but all songs, it's like literally verse, 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 chorus, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It's like. I guess it's that if you don't like the chorus, okay. I mean, I don't think it's that bad.
No, but I enjoy
personally.
Dre. I enjoy the back and forth, but it's just like you could have shaved 30 seconds off the song easy.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, next song.
Till I Collapse featuring Nate Dogg.
I like this one.
Again, this is great. This is 5. It's a great workout pump up song. Nate Dogg on the feature is always good. I think also this could have been the last song to go out on.
Should have been.
I don't know. I feel most people probably heard this one.
Certified banger. I actually love this one.
I would love to hear.
This is certified banger.
Hell yeah.
Easily.
All right.
One of my favorite on the album.
Nate Dogg does a great job at with his add-on.
Yeah. Okay, now this next one I could see being unpopular. No, it's okay.
He's mentally prepared.
No, I wouldn't be offended by it because it's a weird. Again, it's kind of like Square Dance, where it's a weird one. You either probably like it or you hate it.
Yep.
I don't have it. It's not a 5 for me. I have it as a 4. But I mean, like I like that.
What's the track title?
My Dad's Gone Crazy, and it's featuring his daughter. I like that his daughter's in it. I think it's like it's a little off, like a little more crazier than some of the other ones, but like unique or different. But for me, it works. I don't think it should have been the last song. I think it's a misplacement of the track and the order. Again, it's not my favorite, but I don't hate it or anything. Like I could listen to it. I gave it a 4 for me.
Could this have been a better bonus track where it didn't come
Yeah, I could see that.
See, I'd rather that be the case for this one, to be honest.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if someone was like, "Oh, this is a 2 for me." Like, what would you might give it
okay.
whatever. This one would not bother me. I get it. Like,
I think the placement of the song, kind of what you had said, is just it's a little odd to me to throw this at the end. I mean, again, I'm a flow guy, so the ending, the way that it kind of it just came out like banger, 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 good song, banger, bullshit skit, whatever, blah blah blah. But like the first half of the album to me was like so hot, and then I feel like again, you said, oh, it put the pedal to the metal. I think again it went complete opposite, where it just kind of it fizzled down to a natural like low point of like, okay, and now we're done with the album. I like to have a little kind of like a little poetry, a little bang bang, okay, we're going here, diverting. Like Eminem is such a guy that I think that you can do so many different types of music and he can still be fucking great. Like that Dido song where it's like so soft, it's like he still is great in that. Like I just think that Eminem didn't really show he didn't spray all fields in this. He fucking hit solid doubles and triples all day, but I don't see him doing all of what he can do.
See, I would say he actually is spraying all fields because he's kind of doing more different types, whereas the first album is kind of more of the same, like fucked up shit about his mom or his wife, even more so than this one. After just a couple on this one, but
I agree with you.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So
like
he did.
It was more for like more shock value in the first two, especially.
I think that I'm opposite of him. I think that there's a lot more to this album than the previous ones. I think that you're getting different types of shades of gray in terms of when he came out, just like whatever, all solid, same color. But this one, you're seeing a little bit more of what he could do. The track placement of this one, fucking garbage. But
yeah, I agree with that. Like,
yeah, you could end it with that Nate Dogg one.
I mean, personally, like what would you said? Like the back half. Like I think from 10 on, like obviously you didn't like 2 of them, but the ones you did like from 10 on, Without Me, Sing for the Moment, you had both those as 5s. Mm-hmm. Superman was a 5. You didn't like Haley's song. When the music stops, I don't remember. You said that was Take It or Leave.
He said it pittered out.
But then Till I Collapse is good. I don't know. Like I guess I could maybe if you didn't like the D12 one, I forgot if you liked that one or not. But.
Yeah, it was fine. I just again to me, I enjoy Eminem's lyricism, but I enjoy the song obviously more when I also enjoy the chorus. And I just had a handful of songs here. Again, honestly, the majority of the songs I liked. I gave over a 3 or a 4, but like there's just like 4 or 5 that I just kind of was like. Kind of let me down. The one that really surprised me was Say Goodbye Hollywood. I really thought.
Yeah, that one blew my mind a little bit too. Yeah,
everyone loves that one, but that's okay. I get passionate about it because it's a passionate album for me. But in the moment. But I respect your opinion.
Oh, in the moment.
Oh, and now too. But I'm just saying, like,
sing for the moment.
Yes, sir. But I mean, like, I get it. It is what it is. Obviously,
it's an opinionated podcast.
I'm just gotta be. Sometimes I'm just
write down your comments.
Sometimes I have certain ones where I'm like, okay, this one you probably won't like. This one maybe, but like some of them, I'm like, oh, everyone loves this one. Why would you not like this one? And you were like, I don't get it, or it's a. I'm like,
okay,
really?
Why am I suddenly Jewish right now? I don't get it. It was too hot in there, and I don't.
You want? I should listen to the album.
I mean, you went real Hasidic there, dude. You went real Rabbi Ryan right there.
You want to choose your album next?
My next album is Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses.
Okay,
I grew up
solid.
with this.
Hell
I fucking love
man.
this album.
All right,
fucking do it.
Let's do it, yeah. And then we're going to come back from the break with Bobby's movie review.
I'm 2 for 2 in the past couple
weeks.
Which
is Speak No Evil, the 2024 James McAvoy horror thriller.
Drama,
It's
yeah.
like a thriller, a horror at the end. Thriller,
Sure.
most maybe
Horror.
like I would call it a tension thriller
I'd put it more on
horror. Yeah,
I'd put
like-
maybe a degree of horror, but
like
yeah.
a third of horror at the end. Okay, that's
All
it.
right.
But we'll talk about it when we get
This is our
back.
first James McAvoy. Great actor, so excited. All right.
We're about to talk about it. All right.
See you in a bit. Welcome back, Journeymen Lounge podcast listeners. We're watching Game 6 of the NBA Finals. I'm hoping that OKC just puts it away. I think we got a few bets going on between Woj and myself, but let's just knock this out. But we're going to turn our attention to James McAvoy's Speak No Evil, 2024's most recent film. This is a horror thriller. That's the way it's been designated. Came out in September of 24. So just on the cusp of summer ending, school picking up. And this actually, the gross on this, the box office, was $77 million globally on a $15 million budget, which, I mean, for movies nowadays, $15 million to, put something out, I think is fucking, bare bones.
Well, horror that's what it's known for. Is usually it's cheap to make and it makes a lot of money. It doesn't cost much. Usually it's like one setting. A lot of times, like one room or one house or one thing, and a small cast. Let's say like this movie has like 5 main
7.
people,
Oh,
7
5
total
maybe, yeah.
in the whole thing.
Right, exactly. There's
So,
about 7, yeah.
usually they're cheap. Like you can make them for like $5 to $10 million, and you can make like $100 million. Like,
Which is great. I mean, that's what they want to do. They want to make
Yeah.
like 7 to 10 times their profit, and then they're like, "Hey, this is a wild success." And then the unfortunate nature is that in 3 years from now, there'll be a Hear No Evil. In 3 years from that, there'll be a what's the other one? Speak. Yeah.
Here
well,
and
speak
See
no evil, see no evil, hear no evil is that Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movie. There's
So
something
is it
like
a
that.
comedy? It
Yeah,
sounds like, I was
yeah.
gonna say with those two, it's
Well,
gotta
one
be.
of them can't see and one of them can't hear. I think is the whole.
Oh, that's funny.
I was just saying
I've
it's
never seen
the
it.
it's the comment in Hollywood of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
as
Of just
soon as
repackaging, yeah.
as soon as a movie makes money, they're gonna try and pounce on the profitability of the.
I
company.
I don't think this falls into that narrative though, but I agree that they do that consistently across a lot of other different production.
We're only a
Well,
year removed. Like, give it a couple
You're right.
years.
Actually, this is a remake of a
Yeah, go figure.
2022 Danish film. So in a sense, they are kind of capitalizing off a foreign success and made it an American version, which some people on IMDb hated. Like, we'll get into like the ending. Like, oh, it was so good until they Americanized the ending. I fucking love the ending, the last half hour. But we'll get into that
Okay.
later or whatever.
So I'm gonna just do a quick. This would be a spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen Speak No Evil,
You should see it by now.
Yeah, it's fairly new. It's within a year.
Yeah, so
It's
that's
not
why I'll
even
actually-
a year old.
spoiler alert, because this one actually is like relatively.
Yeah, but it's really awesome. It's on Prime right now, by the way, streaming on Prime. I rented it at the library.
There you go.
But yeah, it's awesome.
Physical media. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick synopsis and then kind of go through this. So, Speak No Evil, a premise centers around an American family who, after befriending a charming British couple on vacation, accept their invitation to the remote farmhouse where, I guess, seemingly it's idyllic, an idyllic weekend getaway quickly devolves into a nightmarish experience for this American family who realize that their hosts aren't who they appear to be. They're impeccable in terms of hiding their sinister side, and it leads to kind of a culmination of this logical manipulation, tension, and this horrifying confrontation at the end. So,
Well, I would say, to add to that's very accurate. I would say that a lot of the movie is based in tension and like awkward, uncomfortable, like something about James McAvoy and his wife is just off. But then
Right.
again, they seem very nice and likable. So you question, are they weird, like in a bad way, or is it just like, oh, this is how they were brought up, and it's just like they don't know customs type of thing? And also to accompany the tension, the couple of Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie Davis, or is that her name right?
Yes.
yeah, Mackenzie Davis,
Who was in Terminator, the newest one anyway.
as Louise Dalton.
There have tension between them because she somewhat cheated on him. She got a picture of a guy's dick on her phone.
Let's set the record straight, man.
Well,
it's they saying that it's like cheating or whatever. It's not great, but it's no P and G.
Well,
okay?
either way, it's causing
tension.
It's causing tension in their marriage, which is the whole reason that they agreed to go on this trip is because he wanted to go and she's the one who was the transgressor, if you will. She's the one who got the dick pic. So she was like at first like, oh no, I don't want to go or whatever. And then he was like, oh, okay, I go. Like,
so So anyways, that the character Ben Dalton by Scoot McNairy. Is what I would characterize, and this isn't me trying to be chauvinistic, I think he's a very beta style type of male, in the sense that if my wife even feigned interest at another man, sorry, there's the door, and he's, I think, accepting the fact that their marriage is starting to fall apart and, is trying to create some I guess, framework to keep it in play. But like I said, I don't feel that there's a strong
Cox.
There's definitely like she's definitely like the wears the pants, if you will.
Oh hell yeah.
And calls the shots. Like there's a whole thing throughout the movie with their daughter who's 12. Mm-hmm. She has this stuffed bunny, and the Scoot McNairy is like basically like, fuck this bunny, she's too old for it, and the mom is like, no, like it's fine,
dude, pedal to the metal,
and making all these excuses for her, and he's kind of trying to like toughen her up, so to speak, and she's not having it, and she kind of always gets her way as the wife or whatever,
right.
And then she also is kind of like finicky and kind of bitchy a little bit throughout the movie, like, oh, these people in their disgusting sheets, and oh, I can't believe that. But then sometimes she is right. Like there are parts where like like they're parenting her kids, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, kind of thing. That one scene,
like when they're playing ball or
yeah,
something,
and the dance scene. But then some of it, she's kind of like out of line. So it's like do a good job of like balancing that somewhat. But for like the first like hour or so of the movie, she's kind of like real bitchy, portrayed that way at least.
Right, and maybe that's the character. But one thing I'll mention on, I guess, their relationship, because there is a backstory to Ben and Louise. So Ben was a high-paying controller for a Chicago firm, went to the UK. As soon as he gets to the UK, there's downsizing. He loses his job. So call it lost confidence, lost drive. You could kind of portray that in a character, a man who's kind of gotten shit kicked out of him and like kicked into his knees. But then you have a wife who clearly, I think her eyes wander, and I think 1 foot out the door. Maybe that's the feeling I get from her.
The whole thing started because of that. You're right. Because of the move, she had a job. She left her job to go with him to support him, and then it didn't work out. The thing folded or shut down, he said. So then she still can't find work or as much work.
Right.
So she's frustrated with that, and he's probably obviously depressed about not having the job. So it's kind of like all these things working against them, and they're trying to put together their marriage or whatever. And they have I guess they go to they don't show them going to therapy, but they mention that they've been to therapy. Mm-hmm. And like they said, they're trying to like work together through this. And throughout the movie, they definitely clash. Obviously, until the very end, when they have to come together against the people. Right. But this couple that they meet, James McAvoy and the other actress, I'm not sure of her name. Kiara is her name. I don't know the actress's name.
Aisling Franciosi.
They're like kind of more of like a fun couple, and like I think Scoot McNairy's character like is a little bit jealous of that. He wants to be more like them. Like he sees them when they're in Italy, they're getting like a drink. He's like, hey, you want to get a beer? She's like, no, but you can if you want. He's like, oh, okay, not really. And then like the whole like he kind of befriends them more, and I think him and James McAvoy have a connection where he looks up to him. He kind of wishes he was more like him almost. Like, and again, James McAvoy does a great job in this movie of playing the line of like crazy but likable. Like he has like weird moments, like why are you doing this or why are you acting weird? But then it's like he's also like you're like, oh, I love you, brother. Like he definitely has a bond with Scoot McNairy, I would say. Whereas Mackenzie Davis's character is more like, I'm going along for the ride just because my husband wants me to, but honestly, I want to get the fuck out of here, kind of thing. You know?
I can see it.
And then the wife is, they kind of are friends, but not exactly. I think she thinks she's kind of weird, and we'll get into more of the reasons why when we go through scenes and things. But
she's manipulative as shit. She's culpable in all the bullshit. Like she tries to play a little bit of like, oh, I'm just a victim of the situation. Bullshit, honey.
Also, we should mention that James McAvoy and Kiara, whatever.
We'll just call it Kara.
Kara, they have a son
Aunt. Yep.
I'm gonna put it in quotes.
Son. Yeah.
This is spoilers. Son, and they have a daughter, so they kind of become friends. That's also part of the reasons that
that's their lure.
They're going to spend time with this couple who they just met one time on vacation in Italy. Then they decide to go to their like
UK,
farm or whatever
yeah.
you want to call it. So it is kind of like interesting to like they're playing on the whole thing, like spending a weekend with people you barely know who you were friends with, but like kind of, but you don't have like the whole years of experience and rapport with them, so you don't know what
there's no roots.
You don't know what to expect. You've never been there. Like you're not from there. Like there's a whole lot of things going into the tension. If you will.
No. So Woj has been quiet. I want to shift.
I'm sorry,
gears.
Woj.
No, it's all right. I want to hear his thoughts, maybe about the character development or just the general your thoughts on the movie, because this is a new movie for you. I've seen it a few times.
I've seen it twice.
So I guess initial take before we dive into the plot and scenes a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I think it's a charming-ish couple that are like more carefree with a more
Definitely.
hesitant
and
couple
love
that
type.
you kind of are like you're catching them in the right time where they're like, hey, we need to be more like go with the flow, like we're in a bad like spot, and the guy is like, yo, let's do this, let's be more spontaneous. And she, I think, is feeling guilty, so she's definitely like, yes, let's do that, even though I think generally, I mean, again, this is just me, but like if somebody I meet goes like, hey, you should come and spend time at my house in a different country, I'm a little hesitant until I know the person more. I'm not doing that based off of one meet and then maybe even some communication after that.
Yeah.
But I'm still just like not sold on like, hey, come to my house and you'll stay there for a weekend. It's like I need a little bit more interaction first, not as necessarily in the movie. The movie works well with it, but I'm just saying, like, for me to be getting into the mindset of like why they would just be like,
oh yeah,
hey, I need to go there, and especially bring your kid.
Well, yeah,
I think that takes down their defenses right away. Oh, they have a kid.
You know, you're right though. I think normal people, we'd probably be like, you know, like I'm not gonna do that. But like I think, like I said, like the whole their marriage is kind of going down, and their kid is. They want to, you know, he thinks it's going to be good for her to get out and have a friend, that whole thing. I think there are elements.
It's a possible remedy.
Elements that made them kind of overlook, because her character is like you, just like, fuck this, why are we going to go with these people?
Right.
But he was like, okay, another thing I can't do, basically, because you don't want to. So she kind of felt guilty. You know, I took it as
I could see that,
you know, and was like, you know, for the record, I just want to say I saw this in the theater when it came out, and I liked it then, and I loved rewatching it now, especially
theater, probably a little more spooky,
especially knowing now the twist ahead of time. You can kind of watch it when you're watching and be like, okay, well now I know why he's doing this or why this is happening, and you know, because when you're watching it the first time, you're kind of like, okay, I see there's tension. What's behind the tension? Like, what's going to come of this? Like, I know something's going to happen, or there's some type of thing, but what is it? You know, kind of thing. So,
all right, let's dive on in. Like, and I'm gonna skip past this all together. There's not too much music in this. If you guys,
actually, there's 5 songs, not a lot,
5 songs, but
I'm gonna say we'll be quick on that one just for an
let's
overall
just
theme.
let's just
knock it out. Let's knock out the music.
That's easy. I got it.
And we'll kick it over to Ryan for music because there isn't any. I guess that stand out for me.
Gloria, which I'm not sure if it was the Italian version of Laura Branigan. It's a popular song from the 80s. Animal from Def Leppard. Black Velvet from Alana Miles. Great song. Cotton Eye Joe from Rednecks. Red N-E-X.
I mean, if you grew up in 1995 to 2004, you heard that song.
And then the main song of the film was Eternal Flame from the Bangles.
Yeah.
That's the one that James McAvoy's character is playing, and he sings at the end when everything's going crazy.
Yep.
Yelling it out into the house, which, again, we'll get into. But, 5 songs in the movie, all good songs. For me, the one that stands out is Cotton Eye Joe, because we grew up with that.
Right,
and it's kind of random to hear it in a movie now.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? One that I enjoy hearing, I haven't heard in a while, Black Velvet from Alana Miles, a great like 90s.
It is.
Like
you're right.
country
I totally skipped past that
song.
one. I like Gloria too. I mean,
they're all good songs. They're except I mean,
but it's not the
short.
mainstay.
Yeah, not
of
a whole lot.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
But what they don't use a lot, but what they do use, they use well.
They use well. Perfect. I like it. Well said. Woj, thoughts? Or?
No, soundtrack, we're good.
All right, let's go. Favorite. I just want to do favorite scenes. Let's just get into that subject. Let's go to Woj. Some of your favorite scenes.
Yeah, I mean the reality of shooting in European or just honestly some of these countries are just that the picturesque views are just like
Beautiful.
plenty. I mean, you got stuff overlooking like lakes. I believe at one point they were at like a old fort that looked like really cool, kind of overlooking and stuff like that. So like there's a lot of this stuff that is like when you see it, I'm like, God damn, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the
They're vacationing in Tuscany.
You got
Italy,
so you got the Italy,
Tuscany,
in the beginning, and then you got the English countryside,
cottage by the
you
lake.
know.
Yeah, I mean,
Beautiful.
those things are just again very picturesque views for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, somebody else.
Well, I mean, it's like, let me get like, you know, there's many scenes of just like the tension, like you know, to start off with like them making Louise eat the blood goose, and she's a vegetarian in the
Right.
beginning, and
That's totally
that
fucked,
kind of
yeah.
kicked off the like what the
They're
fuck
like weird mannerisms, yeah.
Then they do like the whole like hiking thing and like, you know, jumping in the water, and James McAvoy's kind of like looking at his wife kind of weird, like eyeing her up kind of thing.
He has weird animalistic kind of sense to him the whole time.
The awkward couples dinner where they thought they were going to bring their kid, and then they're like, no, it's just us, and they have some random,
And this
some
random
guy
dude is gonna watch your
who
kid.
doesn't speak much English, and she was like, no, but then again, the husband's like, oh, come on, that's what's, you know, he's a teacher, like he just like in for whatever they say.
Yeah, he's pretty much on board for whatever they got to throw.
And like again, they discuss her being a vegetarian. She brings it up, and James McAvoy kind of like argues with her a little bit, like gives her a little shit, like, "Hobo, you eat fish? I thought you were a vegetarian." And they kind of get
Right.
into like the whole like, "Well, I only eat this type of fish," and
Right.
you know, and then the whole him simulating the blowjob from his wife for like a couple minutes, and the couple clearly being just like,
Yeah, like
very
30
uncomfortable.
yeah, at the fucking
seconds.
table, that was
But,
fucking weird. Yeah.
30 seconds, but definitely a lot longer than should have.
And that,
I got the smoking ganja scenes. They're like kind of like winded down for the night. Patty and what's Scoot Benerry's character?
Ben.
Patty and Ben are kind of like passing a joint back and forth, and they're like, it's very chill. It's very nice. I would also just kind of like throw out like the last 40 minutes, obviously, as the shit ramps up and you start getting into the real like. Now the
Shit's hitting the fan,
gas
yeah.
is on the fire. Like you're starting to go. Like obviously that was great. And then I would also just say like the killing of Patty as the daughter stabs him with the sleep agent, whatever the fuck sleep chemical
Right.
that he was going to use on her, and she's able to stab him. And then Ant, the kid who is not really their kid, you find out,
Right. Creepy.
fucking just chops his face off with a brick, like a big
Yeah, he
rock.
goes to work.
And he's just like, ah! Like that was fucking wild. Those scenes are wild
Yeah.
at the end.
One scene that I loved the play of, you know, clearly, you know, I think even early on, I was like, Ant doesn't seem to be like fitting into this family. Now, granted, this family has weird parenting styles, weird mannerisms, very out there, but also like fringe, like stuff that I like. The moment they try to pull some shit or correct my son, or the whole even vegetarian, I'd be like, hey, we're leaving here. You know, clearly they don't respect us. We barely know them. Fuck you guys, out. But when Ant overthrows the ball when they're playing to kind of get them out of eyesight, just to get them like, hey, you guys are in trouble, like giving them the heads up. I'm like, here's a selfless young man who's like knows that he'd probably get his ass killed because he wasn't the first kid that they quote unquote had. So I just found that very empowering for, you know, someone's in such a small role, I suppose, but a way of, I guess, moving the plot forward in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Woj the last 40 minutes, half hour. I want to get that more, but like that's the best part for me. But like, I mean, there's a couple of scenes before that where again the tension kind of just keeps getting
mounting,
twisted
yeah.
and twisted. The really weird scene where Louise finds their daughter sleeping in the bed of Patty and
Yeah, that's
and
totally
Kara.
fucked.
Kara, and they try and leave the house that's not their house in the middle of the morning or the early morning without them seeing them and just dipping out, and then they have to go back for this stupid bunny.
No, fuck that.
We'll
gone.
talk. We'll
Yeah,
talk
which
about
is like, yeah, but like the husband is like, fuck this, and even the mom was kind of like, oh, well, you know, whatever. She's like, I need my bunny, and it's like, oh my god, the awkwardness of you left, like, you know, because of the weird thing, and then without telling them, and then you have to go back to the house and try and sneak in, and then like James McAvoy, of course, is like talking to Ben, and he caught him coming back or whatever, like that. And then you have the awkward the outside dinner where she's starts parenting Luis's daughter, and he's just like, "Don't tell my daughter what to do."
Yeah,
like
you know,
that's
fuck off. You know,
it's fucking weird. And then they do the dance thing, and Patty is just like on
ants
shit, like
constantly.
No,
parading.
you're not on the beat. You need to be on. And he like moves his leg, and you're like, holy shit. And like the parents are like, what are you doing? Like you can't. And they're like, oh well, our parenting. You're judging our parenting now, and it's like.
Okay, and James
you know,
McAvoy, dude, he's kind of getting loose and more of a drunk asshole as like things progress. But let's credit to the actor. Holy shit, I believed every moment of that, you know, of his portrayal. It wasn't like here's a guy phoning it in. So the only other thing that I could really speak to in terms of scene, and it's kind of a quote. He's like, "Why is it that you always play with your food?" For that one dude, I was like, dude, that's, you know, haunting as shit. He's like, clearly this hasn't been the first. And you'll notice with the shed scene where he kind of shows him the false bottom, there's got to be like 8 or 9 different like couples.
There's a lot of families
and children that probably have come and gone that were their son or daughter at some point.
Jesus
yeah, I was
Christ.
just gonna mention that when you said you kind of hinted at he throws the football, they're playing catch, so Ann can show her the barn, and then you go in the barn and you see all the backpacks, all the items.
IDs and shit like
so
that.
it's like they have done this many times before, where they befriend a couple, kill them,
Take all their money.
take all their money, and take their kid and try and make a life, and then they, I guess, end up killing the kid because it doesn't work out.
Yeah, because eventually that's a
Yeah.
loose end. Now,
And we'll say Ant was one of them, and they cut his tongue out. That's why
Yep.
he can't talk the whole movie. You find out, like they said, it was like some disease, or he was born with it, or whatever.
there is a legit one where children are born with like malformed tongues or something. But yeah, they attributed that, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a doctor." But then there's some doctor questions they ask, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't tell you I was a medical doctor." It's like, yeah, you did."
And then the whole thing when the daughter fakes a period to get her mom's attention, and then they all finally realize that this couple is doing something weird, and they're trying to leave, and like both couples know that something's up, but they're both like pretending
They're both playing chess,
like
man.
everything is okay.
Right, smile.
And then, oh, it's just her period, we gotta go or whatever. And then like they go out and the tire's flat because clearly Patty did it intentionally.
I would ride on a flat tire.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't care.
And then
Fucking
they're like,
try
oh,
me.
you can't go without the bunny again. Even the daughter was like, I don't care. And he's like, oh, no. And it's on the roof, and he makes the husband get it. And then you think, okay, they're finally going to leave. And
isn't it a battery like a Tesla? And he's like, oh, the battery's dead too. Or he basically disconnected it.
And he chucks Ant in the lake. And we saw earlier he can't swim.
Right.
He's going to
fucking
drown.
drowning.
And they close the gate. And
you have to do one or the other. You could drive away or save
he decides
ants.
to try and save him. And of course, now they're trapped. And you think they're going to be, this is the point where the movie turns, where he takes him into the garage. He's like, transfer all my money into the account. Oh, we're going to sedate you with ketamine, then we're going to kill you, and we're going to take your daughter or whatever. And then, like, from that point on, as Woj said, like, the last, 40 minutes, just, like, take your pick of what, but it's, like, pretty crazy. They're trying to escape. The friend from the bar shows up and cuts them off.
Burns down the house.
Yeah, they burn down they try and
Hey, you're on the podcast, Bronson. Can I give you a call back?
What up, Bronson?
All right, that's Bronson for you.
We got Bronson. Yeah, he's been on.
All right, see
Hey, they're trying to torch the barn, but then he ends up blowing up the car. They sneak back into the house, and they're trying to take shelter there and hide the kids, and they have no weapon besides knives and forks,
right? Whatever they could find. I guess,
it's kind of it's kind of intense, that whole thing. Many times, one guy, James McAvoy, got stabbed with the serving fork, and then she sprays him with that stuff under the sink, the plumbing
or some
shit.
Yeah, chemical. Or
the one Kara ends up falling off the roof and being killed. one guy.
Yeah, that was a fun scene because I'm like, fuck you, bitch. There you go.
The guy who was
deserved.
the restaurant owner or
Yeah.
whatever, he gets hit with the hammer in the back of the head by Luis, and then as Woj said, the last scene with James McAvoy holding, or maybe you said it, with the daughter and the syringe.
No, that was Wojak.
Okay,
You went
sorry,
into it, yeah.
fantastic, great little
And then
thing.
Ant going to work.
So, but overall, it's just great. The tension, the whole movie. And I think it pays off with the at the end with the horror, the chase kind of element, if you will.
Now that is against the Danish film ending. This is.
Yeah, which I'm sure. I'm guessing. I don't know what that is, but
I thought someone mentioned that, but I'm assuming.
no, it is. I don't know what the ending is. But
I'm assuming that, guess what? They're another victim, and it's kind of like him at the end, probably. I'm assuming Danish. I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming at the end, I could imagine him on vacation again. Hi, yeah, my name, one of those things like, and restart.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm not sure if there's too many quotes. I mean, we could talk about the last
maybe 2.
30 or 40 minutes. Mine was, I already gave one of mine, was like, hey, why do you keep playing with your food? Shit
There
like
was
that.
There was one where they say, he's like, "Why are you doing this to us?" And James was like, "'Cause you let us."
Yeah, that was intense. I like that because you allowed it to
I
happen.
got about 5, and it's all from James McAvoy.
He carries this whole thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh man, that's got to be a kick in the balls. You don't know the half of it. The one that's really fucked up, it's like he goes to Anne, he's like, "Show me love," and I was like, "Oh my god, it's fucked up." Oh fuck, and then my favorite, "You blew up my car, you cheeky cunt."
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
It's fucking great.
I just had besides that, when talking about sex at the dinner table with the couples dinner, and he's like,
Yeah.
we do it every day or whatever, 4 times a week. I forgot what he said. And he's like,
3 times a week. Yeah.
Ben's lucky if he gets it once a month. I was like, oh God, that's horrible.
Poor Ben. I mean, honestly, I think in real life, a guy like Ben, if that's what he's bringing to the table in terms of survival skill, he'd be murdered right away.
Yeah. As you said, James McAvoy is definitely anchoring this movie for me. Like, he's just such a tremendous actor. The way he's like I said, so likable at times, but also just like flirting with crazy until eventually you're definitely crazy.
Right, he shows his cards.
But you kind of like him for a lot of the movie. You're like, he seems like a cool guy. Like, I want to hang out with him. But then you're like, I don't know, he's kind of weird.
He was able to turn it on, which I mean, I could enjoy. Like I said, McAvoy, I think he's a specialist. Like, you don't get many actors. There we go. That could, portray kind of that calm innocence, bring you in type of, behavior, and then, flip the switch to basically like, holy shit, what did I get myself into?
I mean, I'm going to talk about more in the picking nits, but I think they put a lot of foreboding and a lot of hints out there that something was a little off or whatever.
Oh, yeah, they put a lot of breadcrumbs.
I'm just saying, is a lot of breadcrumbs early on that kind of like the way in which families or people act in horror movies in general is just not it's not in normal logic. So we'll talk about more in picking this, but I just a couple things on the cast real quick, and just in terms of like, I don't really have a recasting. I mean, maybe Mackenzie Davis. I didn't really love her as her. Like, it just wasn't wasn't
fair.
a whole lot of meat there.
Yeah.
I think James McAvoy and Scoot McNairy, though, they play well against each other.
Yeah.
A alpha and a beta, as I think Bobby said
well
mainly in the beginning. Ainsling Francioso, the Kira. I think she was great. It's kind of like a little off-edge, little whimsical kind of person. The weird, like, chef and then the babysitter guy, just weird pop-ins. Didn't love them.
But
whatever.
I guess they were serviceable. That's all they needed.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't bring the teacher babysitter guy back as one of the accomplices as well.
Could have done something with him. Yeah.
they had
Mataz Malis.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then I thought Dan Hugh, however you say it, who was Ant.
Yeah.
I thought he was great. I mean, again, it's tough to act when you don't have a mouth, to speak words. But I think he did a good enough job as a...
Oh, yeah, he's trying to conveying like that. He's trying to tell you something, and you just can't get it across, or whatever.
And also, I thought it was actually brilliant to make him, I think he was something in the Nordic countries.
Right.
So it wasn't just English writing like, hey, I'm fucking not. Give me the fucking help.
I was thinking that too for picking this before I rewatched it. I'm like, why didn't he just write it down? I'm like, because he did, but they can't understand it. It makes sense. you know.
All right. Let's
Next category.
Let's go to pickiness. Let's talk a little bit about.
Ooh, can I do just 2 other things? Because I got Switcheroo and Spinoff sequels, prequels.
Oh, I was going to do that after pickiness. Or
Pickiness usually last.
okay, well, all right. Let's do spin-off.
I mean, those will be 2 seconds here.
I just want to say, if I can really quick before you get to that,
Go ahead.
for a cinematic shot, I know you kind of mentioned
Yeah,
one.
go ahead.
I like the one, it's kind of like The Shining almost, where Patty's trying to break into the one door that Mackenzie Davis's character is holding up with like a dress, I don't know, like a dresser thing or what, I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
And it's like him kind of like, here's Johnny kind of like coming through the door crack. It's a little reminiscent. It's not exactly, but like a apples to apples. But I kind of like that shot. I thought it was cool. Just wanted to mention
it was.
that.
No,
I
it was
gotcha.
very reminiscent.
And then she stabs him with the serving fork right in the hand. That's pretty sick.
In terms of the spin-off prequel sequels, I mean, Patty, they've done 10 to probably 12 other families. I mean, it would be kind of interesting to see if you could have got some more, like, I don't know if it's like a one-trick pony and they just do the same thing every single time, or it's a little bit more of a one family is like, oh, they hang out with them like 5 times, and then eventually like get to that point.
Are you saying like how long do they play the game before
right,
they cash
like,
in those?
because there's obviously this thing of like him playing with his food, and like,
I think
I
he
mentioned
gets
that
off on
line,
that
right.
idea, like that, like slow torture rather than like go full like Monty right away.
well, I mean, if I'm being honest, when they get to the house,
yeah.
I mean, again, and this is always an old adage of horror films, you can make a lot of horror films in fucking 15 minutes. They get to the house, they like the first scene, they meet, they go whatever, hey, do you want to come back to our house in England? Okay, they get to the house, fucking hammer to the back of the head, roll credits. Like they could do that, but they like to do like this drawn out like thing. Like it's definitely like him getting a boner for like the kill of being like, oh, now I fucking know you, and then
he even brings him on that hunt. He's like, it's not all about just it's about the tracking him down. It's about
right.
It's their ritual. If you're like a serial killer, you have a thing, and then it's like they have the trophies, all the backpacks, and all the things. Like it's their process. Like this is what. Like if you watch Dexter, like the Trinity Killer,
right.
He has to do these 3 things in every time,
in sequence,
certain time.
Sure.
Like this is like their thing. I have to befriend the couple. I gotta. But to echo what Woj said, if I had to do a spin-off prequel sequel, I think obviously, Bobby, would you say, but a Patty prequel.
Sure, that's
like
understandable.
Like How He Met Kara. What was their deal?
Well,
like
did
she's
you
well,
catch that?
she did say, I don't know if she was fucking around or not. If that was serious, probably it could have been. I don't know. Like if she was just saying it to get on their.
Well, explain what she said.
Okay, well, she said when they were escaping initially, so Mackenzie Davis' character had a box cutter in her pocket that when they're getting tied up in the garage after they've found out that they're not who they think they are.
Right.
Patty's going to tie them up and kill them, but he doesn't realize that she has a box cutter in her pocket, so he slashes him.
She slashes him.
She slashes him, on the face, and she has like a double barrel rifle or shotgun, and
it's
she
side
takes
by
it from
side.
her and almost shoots Patty in the face. They get control of the situation and lock them in the garage. And before they're gonna leave the garage, she's like, "Take me with you." Like, you
Fuck
think
that bitch,
you think
yeah.
like this. I want to be here. Like you've seen what he does to me, and she did show her earlier like a bruise. But again, I always took it as that was to influence her to get her sympathy, like this kind of part of the thing. But
well, she said that she was like, I was one of the kids, basically.
Right. But he doesn't. But James McAvoy's not that old, so I've kind of like, I don't know if I buy that.
No, that was one of my
It could just be bullshit, but I also can believe it that this guy is so fucked up that he takes a 13-year-old
it could be
kid and then goes, well, you're now my wife tending to me.
To me, they seemed around the same age, so I didn't think the age lined up with what her story was.
It could have been bullshit just to get sympathy, absolutely.
But then,
I think so,
and at
too.
that point, Scoot McNairy's character is like, fuck her, which is like, finally, he said something that made sense in the movie or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, the Patty prequel, How He Met Kara, and then I want to see the first time they did this. Was it planned? Was it spontaneous?
Okay.
Like the whole thing. Were they initially? I always kind of thought too, like were they always going to kill them no matter what, or like what if they like the couple? Do they want to maybe become friends with them and just see how it goes? Like some movies I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like, oh, I always wanted this one to work out, and then it's like, nope, I'm gonna have to kill you again. Maybe in Dexter, like a killer thing or something, where it's like, I wasn't gonna kill you if I liked you, but But then
Sure.
again, they always wind up doing it anyway. I don't know. But yeah, I think a Patty prequel would definitely be could be in the works if we had to do it.
For sure. This fits more into the recasting, but I actually said Mackenzie Davis from Margot Robbie. I think that would have been actually huge improvement.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if I would believe Scoot McNair could get her though.
Yeah, I mean, huge cock and a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Yeah, see, I think Mackenzie Davis, I didn't really like her either, but I think the idea was not to like her. So if that was the idea, then she did a good job. But like, I
mean, again, it's nothing against her. I just don't think she's the most attractive. But
That's fair.
No, I agree with you.
okay, so I thought as a switcheroo, I thought of having a family from another horror. Like I just kind of threw it out of like Amity, like another psychotic family, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre family, but like let's say that they were like more put together, and then Patty kidnaps them, and then as soon as like both families think like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this person up, like this is what we do.
That's kind of cool.
I like
it.
that idea of like going at it, like Jason versus Freddy,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have two hawks in the same nest.
Like
know?
I thought that would have been a cool idea because Patty doesn't know, and they're like obviously trying to keep it together.
Okay, yeah.
Like just kind of a tables turn situation.
I like that. I would then, I'm going to piggyback off
Sure,
that then.
piggyback.
The couple that they pick up could be one of two couples. Either Natural Born Killers,
Okay. Oh, great.
Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
Or
Juliette Lewis, yeah.
have you ever seen this movie called California with a K with Brad Pitt?
Oh no.
It's a
I haven't seen it.
similar movie where they are serial killers hitchhiking, and they ride across the country with a college couple played by David Duchovny and someone else.
Oh, David
And
Duchovny. Okay.
I think that's where I'm getting this from. Yeah, they were like befriending them, kind of similar to this movie actually. James McAvoy would be the Brad Pitt, where they're like him and David Duchovny are bonding.
Sure.
And like the girlfriend, again, it's kind of a similar movie. Actually, I didn't even think about this. It's like, what the fuck's going on? They're fucking weird. Like, I don't like the wife. I don't like the girlfriend. Like,
Right.
like we need to get the fuck out of here. And the husband's like, oh, they're fine. He's a great guy. Like, but then like they're really fucked up. Actually, this kind of movie kind of is exactly like that. It's really weird.
Pretty much is
It's
it.
a good movie. But yeah, check it out.
All right. So now to the picking Nits.
I really didn't have. Well, you guys nailed all my spinoffs or prequels, sequels, but yeah, picky nits on this one. Okay, first off, anyone who goes missing, right? Let's just say the first couple couples. Part of any police investigation. All right, what have they been doing with their money? Where was their last transaction?
Where they spend shit.
Where are their cell phones, in terms of pinging? Eventually they might have turned them off or turned like the batteries, but they could see generally where was it the last time it was active. So it's
Right.
like all of that bullshit, unless they keep hopping around and leasing out different things under false names, which is possible, but their bank account can't be false.
I mean, I think it's the thing of a horror movie taking place in 2005 is very believable because the technology
Right.
just
Okay,
isn't
maybe
there.
sub 2000.
As you get further on, which again they really never mentioned anything about the time period. You expect it's kind of
Well, you
modern.
saw cell phones.
Well, you expect it's kind of modern
Mobile
day.
banking.
It is this thing though where it's kind of like, yeah, there's just basic things that's like, okay, they rented a car. Where's the car at? Rental cars
Right.
now have GPS tracking in them. You
Right.
know, like it's that thing where there's a lot of that stuff where it's like, I feel like they would have been found out at this point. Like,
I actually think I can argue it if
All right, let's
if
hear
I
it.
might. So they didn't get to finish their plan, right? Because Mackenzie Davis slashed him but they were going
But
to.
the reality is
Well,
they've done this a bunch. Okay,
yeah,
let them go.
Yeah, let me
So
cook.
he said, transfer all your money into my account or whatever, and then in 1 week, I'm going to email your apartment manager saying that we're leaving, that you're
Sure.
leaving.
Right.
So there's an alibi for why they wouldn't be at their place, right? 'Cause
Yeah, that's fine.
and then I'm assuming, now that I don't know, I'm going to speculate a little, that they would maybe take their phones with them, go back to their apartment, so the ping would be there.
Oh, you're saying like just dump the phones?
Dump the phone in the apartment, take whatever they want from the apartment, go back to their English place,
So set it up as if they're moving or leaving. Okay.
and then dump the phone somewhere random, and then it's like they disappeared. I don't know.
Fair enough, but
And
like
probably email also their jobs and be like, I'm not coming, or I quit, whatever.
okay, but even still, like I'd say, I understand that's a
They don't
lot
have
of
jobs, but yeah,
But-
kind of a perfect couple.
Yeah, except, and also, if I may too, that's what I was going to say. They seem to target certain couples. If you have like,
we have this one example.
right, well, okay, but I think they kind of,
I think they target younger couples though. They'd have to.
and I think, but they kind of maybe the weekend thing is also to feel it out if
Yeah,
they can
maybe
get, if
they
they can
don't
get
go
away
through
with
with it and
if
just
they can
say,
get
like,
away
"Hey,
with
see
it,
ya,"
kind of thing,
you
because
know?
they were like, okay, they even said they're like, you have no neighbors, you have no friends, no one will miss you. You moved to London from the U.S.
Yeah.
No one knows you're here.
Yeah.
Right.
So they kind of do mention some things that could maybe explain it.
Okay, so I think there's some plausible. It's
Yeah,
plausible.
They didn't exactly show everything that they would do, but I'm just gonna take the next guess. The next steps would be what I said.
It would be very smart to go and ransack their place. I'm sure there's a lot of shit
But
that they
the
could
thing
steal.
is, for the people that they've done in the past, they're from different countries.
Right,
So,
but-
like I said,
yeah.
there's certain things you can't like fly to Reykjavik or something to like go over to their place
True.
and like.
So he's just offering an explanation
No,
of
and
like
I think
what
it's plausible.
would be
I think it's plausible. I think that there is.
a way to hide your
But
tracks.
I guess for me, mobile banking for someone even like that, where it's like, hey, there hasn't been a transaction on any of their accounts. They haven't closed any of their accounts. You know, like it would eventually raise some bars, and then they say, all right, well, let's take a look at their past transactions.
Right.
Like eventually, I think that is eventual. You buy yourself time in your situation, but unless they have fake names, which maybe they do, fake IDs. Then you could pretty much get around and be fine.
Maybe the bank thinks it's suspicious that they transferred all their money to this one checking account, and maybe they trace the transfer, and maybe that's how you get busted. I don't know if they have like a whole, backup workaround fake account thing that goes to some other offshore. I don't know what that, but maybe that's something like that. Who knows? But obviously they've been doing it for like at least like 10 times, so they have some type of plan or thing.
So I think they're criminals that have a little of experience, but like I said, it's plausible because you could set up different shell accounts, shell companies, shell whatever. So $250,000 towards blah 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 LLC. And if you set it up in different countries that don't really care so much, they just care that you're banking with them. Take the money out, move it elsewhere. There's ways of making it happen. It's a lot of movement.
Again, I just think that movies that take place earlier on,
it makes more sense.
Makes more sense of how people just disappear.
Right.
overnight.
Agreed. Okay. So
I would say, why would you arrive at night to a place that you don't know? Like just simply for the one part of like, hey, you don't know how to get there. You don't know what it looks like. Blah 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 blah. But secondly, I'd be like, yeah, I'm arriving in like at least at the sunset. So I'm like, hey, I know where you're at. I like driving at night in the old country is like,
that's kind of
drive off a fucking cliff. You could,
Well, and they said too they have no cell service. Remember they were
that
like,
makes sense,
they
dude,
were
in the
like,
middle
call
of
them like
bumblefuck.
I can't.
Right. It's just a lot of things of like, why would you do that there?
I'm assuming that was probably Scoop McNairy was just like, let's just fucking go. I'll figure it out. Like he's kind of an idiot the most of the movie. I don't know.
I'll just keep going. Kids sleeping in the same room is fucking weird. That would never.
They have a big ass house. That's fucking ridiculous.
I don't care. That would never happen. Doesn't matter if they're fucking 4 years old and
if I
6
just met
years
him, no,
old.
my kids are with me. For
yeah,
sure.
exactly. Your kids are
no.
staying
I would
with
never
you.
be in this scenario, but yes, and if I was placed,
I'm just saying they would either be with you or they would be in the same. Like, hey, they're in my room right here.
I don't think it's weird. The girl's 12. I mean,
sleeping in the same room as another kid.
Kids always sleep over. They sleep over in the. I mean,
no, not in a big house like that. Sorry, I don't.
But it wasn't that big. It was like a. I mean, it was and it wasn't.
It's a farmhouse. They have at least 4 bedrooms.
So let me go to the other point that you will absolutely agree with. You're not leaving your fucking kid with
over a bunny.
No.
Oh.
With a man that doesn't speak English that you have no idea who this man
you're just
is.
Trusting the confidence of someone else
on the fucking fly, where they go, oh, absolutely, the kids are actually staying here. No, they're not. There you go.
This is me leaving.
That's
this
crazy.
Is me leaving.
If it was a woman, I would almost believe it a little bit. But a man, I'm like, get the fuck. I don't know this fucking guy.
If I may, Scoop McNairy is kind of the woman in this.
He fucking is, absolutely. He is,
so I see what you're saying. Again, I think it ties into the whole marriage tension and her wanting to appease him because of the cheating thing. So she is ignoring her better judgment because her face. You can see in her face, she's like, "What the fuck?" Like I'm not gonna. And he's like, "Well, if we were at home, But
parent. Okay. Marriage aside, if I'm a parent, regardless of how much of a cuck he is or whatever, I would still. That's my child. I don't care. Hell or high water, fucking try me. I'll put you in the ground just the same. I saw none of that. Maybe in the mom more so than the dad. But even I'm a vegetarian, and they talked you in like to eating meat? No, I'd be like, fuck off. Like, what part of no don't you understand?
She should have told them herself. I feel like why
and her husband.
Yeah, why are you just eating it?
Like, why? It's not her husband's responsibility to tell them that she's a vegetarian. I mean, he could have.
No, but even still, that's out there. And if they didn't respect it, I'd be like, guys, what part of no don't you understand? Do I need to say it in different languages? Niet, nya,
Like you could just been like, oh, like, I appreciate it, but actually I can't eat meat. I'm a vegetarian.
Right.
Sure.
And
again, that's pretty respectable. It's not like, oh, fuck you, I don't do this. It's just like, yeah, I actually don't do that, and I actually told you back in Italy that I don't do that.
Right, so do you not listen?
Yeah, it's just things of like, it's, to me, I think it's just in general, like, because I also put like, they outburst at the kid, like for doing the dance. I'm like, they're just things that like escalating where I'm like, I get that it's a movie, but like there is a part where like you didn't need to do that. What they could have done is they could have been like, in my mind, like if the movie was like, they are great. They're such a great time. And then it's a fucking like a trigger switch. I don't even know what fucking phrase I'm trying to say there. But like a quick switch where it's like, well, now we're fucking psychotic. I would have enjoyed that actually more because some of the stuff that Patty says throughout the movie.
Oh, it's fucking deranged.
It's a lot of foreboding stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff that's like odd that I'm like, at a certain point, as a parent and as a person, I'm just like, yeah, dude, you're like, to me, I'd just be like, you're fucking weird, bro. Like, you're weird, and I'm going.
Well, eventually,
like, I'm leaving.
Eventually, at that outside table, Scoop McNairy and his wife did a line. They were and were like, hey, why are you picking on the kid? But he definitely could have been more forceful towards James McAvoy's character.
So one thing that I want to mention,
Sure,
like both of us, I think all of us would kind of like call our shot. But if I felt my family was in danger and I want to make sure to get them out of danger, I wouldn't show my cards of calling these people fucking creepy. I'd be like, you know what, we're gonna, we got to go pick up. Like I would just get myself out of Dodge, but not openly tell them. They did that at night, but I was like, I would have done that.
I mean, they
way.
made the right kind of call in terms of like, okay, you could have been nice, but also like if they were, I mean, fucking going back for the bunny is the dumbest.
That's the dumbest
thing. And it's just farcical. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's full of farce.
It's a farce. Yeah.
I mean,
and it's just the fact that it's like, I get that the kid has a problem, but you're able to.
I'm able to navigate this.
You're able to absorb the fucking panic attack that the kid's having, or whatever the fuck she has, for the 6 hours or whatever, as opposed to dying.
Right.
So I'm like, I'll absorb that. I'll take
down the chin.
And then
all day.
guess what? Also, and I'm gonna call it out. You're shitty parents.
Yep.
Your fucking 12-year-old can't fucking go without a stuffed animal, and they're having all these panic attacks and shit. It's like, again, like, I get that kids can have problems, but it's like, address the fucking problem.
Well, I think that's part of like how, I'm not saying all parents, but maybe more parents today than obviously in the past kind of like baby their kids and like, put them on a pedestal and like, oh,
helicopter
whatever you need. And like, oh, you got to have your stuffed animal till you're 12 and sleep in the same bed as your parents. Like that one scene, you could tell Scoop McNair, he's like, what the fuck? She's going to sleep in our bed with us? Like, I thought we were on vacation. Like,
Right.
I don't know. Like, but like that thing is like the whole thing though. Like she demands that they leave in the middle of the night for good reason, I guess. Like the kid was in the bed. It's weird. Obviously, James McAvoy's character didn't know, or he said he didn't know it was the mom, but still, like, and to have the audacity to make Scoop McNairy and everybody turn around to go get this stupid bunny after you made everybody leave, like, unbelievable. And then even the whole bunny thing is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I my last pick and nit before I just have one other comment though is like the idea to go back in the house. I know that they said like, oh well, they have their hunters and they're
guns,
at night or whatever.
Yeah.
To go back in the house is the dumbest fucking idea. They know the house better than you.
Right.
You could just fucking turn into a
corner,
room
done.
and they're there with a knife or whatever, a shotgun. It's just such an asinine idea.
The whole thing was they were like, well, there's a landline in there. We can call for help. But then they cut the phone line.
And again, that's 101.
Well,
they're going to cut the line.
I mean, I get it, but they're panicking.
101.
They're not familiar with the area. They're locked in with the gate. They can't get through. the car cut them off with the guy with the gun. So they're thinking, okay, well, where else can we drive to? There's nowhere else to drive to where they're at. Like they're up by the house. I don't think there's anywhere else to go. So I guess really unless you're going to drive around the guy with the gun and try and knock the gate down or drive through
Also, can
something
you
else.
knock the fucking gate? What is it made of? Goddamn concrete?
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, you got a fucking Audi, man. You can get that bitch up to like 60,
Yeah,
70.
I would be through it.
I get it, and it works obviously for the set piece for the end of the movie.
Sure.
But I mean, it's again, with horror you do have to kind of like
Change your
Suspend
expectations a little bit.
disbelief.
yeah, they're gonna make
And
some
logic.
decisions to make scary situations.
Absolutely. I just wish that for certain horror movies, like and stuff like that, I'm just like, you can make this better by just tweaking a couple things. You don't have to go so ridiculous. Live in the world of logic, and you make the twist by having the murderers, villains, whatever, the
Anti-heroes.
antagonist just being like better. Like they're just fucking like, hey, I'm here, I know this stuff. Those are the type of movies that I enjoy a lot, where the antagonist just shows up because they're like, I know the fucking path. I know it better than you.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, that's believable. Like,
this is their home. This is their home field,
right,
baby.
home court, yeah.
I mean, I get it, but like you're gonna hopefully hold them off. You're inside. You're gonna look for weapons. You're gonna hopefully make the phone call, which obviously didn't work out. But like at the very least, you're safe for now. And if they're gonna get in, you can like hide within the house, and there's like hopefully maybe sneak past them, like they tried to do with the ladder, or like I said, there's weapons. But I mean, there weren't a lot of good options, and you're panicking. So I think like I understand what you're saying. I think that this movie though, as far as like.
it's better.
It's not as egregious as some other ones.
Fair point.
Where
point,
it's like, why the
There's
fuck?
plausibility.
Why
in
would
it.
you do that?
True,
It's like
true.
it's not the smartest thing to do, but I could kind of see why you might.
It's
like-
better than a lot of other movies, but it just falls victim to, again, the same tropes that come into play where, again, just with the first sign of trouble, like this is what I think a perfect horror movie would be able to do. At this first sign of trouble, and like something that is like, hey, this is non-negotiable, we are leaving.
Right.
The protagonist leaves the place, and then somehow the protagonist antagonist meet up later. Like that would be great for a horror film, where it would then be believable, because a lot of times, and again, this is a slow burn, so there is a part of it where I'm like, I do kind of believe it, at least a little bit. It's more logical than other horror movies and drama and tension movies, but like there is a point of it where it's like horror movies just fail at that so often, of like, hey man, like go, like especially paranormal shit. It's like there's a ghost in the house, a demon. Get the fuck out. What are we doing here?
Bye.
Yeah, see ya, man. I'm leaving.
Sometimes the demon follows you if you watch The Conjuring.
I don't give a
I
shit.
watch Ghost Adventures. It does sometimes.
Like,
Yeah.
it attaches itself to you.
I'll
or whatever.
I'll fucking take that chance, but 90% of the time.
All right, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Shot out of the cannon. Does this couple, after they get themselves just out of safety, does their marriage last?
Divorce immediately.
Okay, that's what I was thinking immediately.
Yeah, I really doubt it.
Divorce immediately.
She's probably
They
like,
don't, honestly, I'm sorry to cut you off, Ryan. They don't go together.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Work for me.
Divorced
not at
immediately.
all. She needs more of a manlier man, like a take charge guy. I feel like I don't know.
I mean, she
like-
probably is a lesbian, so.
And he probably needs someone a little more easygoing, and so he can be the man, if you will. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
And I just, again, I think that they don't work. They have a kid, and obviously after
Staying
this,
together for the
and
kid,
then
maybe.
obviously on top of it, after this experience, for sure nobody survives. Like in terms of like nobody's together after this. Like the kids in therapy, the fucking, they probably are seeing a therapist themselves. Like you don't survive this ordeal and just be like, hey, I'm good to
Back
go.
to
I was gonna say too, like, and they had, it would have been kind of obviously grim, and you'd have to live with it, but they could have left. He saved Ant. If he didn't save Ant, they could have drove through the gate and they would have been out of there.
Been gone, and Ant would be, one with the leg.
I mean, obviously, you're watching a kid die is not a good thing.
I'm not gonna lie, it's tough to put on screen. Yeah.
So I get it, but after that point, it was like you were done because he closes the gate, and now you even dated your daughter as well. So it is kind of like a tough, like what would you do? Like
What is that? Something Sophie's Choice.
right, like
True, yeah,
like
yeah.
like they have a lot of that like in The Walking Dead. Like, is it the greater good or is it good for us? Like
Sure.
what do we like? You got to make hard choices, if you will.
Definitely so. Last thing to just mention, which I do very frequently in movies, within the first 10 seconds of meeting Ant and knowing, like, as soon as Patty was like, oh, his tongue was cut out, I go, he absolutely cut it out. Like, fucking called it right away. I do that in some movies that I'm just like 7 Pounds. I called it fucking 15 minutes into the movie. I'm like, oh, he's going to give all his organs to these people. Like, it's what's going to happen. Sorry, I just like to call it
You'd
out.
be horrible to watch movies with. Got it.
I don't say it out loud, but I do let the person that I am.
I do that too. When you're watching a movie, you like kind of sometimes you watch it and you don't want to think of it. But other times you're trying to figure out the mystery, along the way, or you kind of make a guess. I do that too. I get
Sure.
it. Yeah.
I just I'm pretty good at it.
All right, we good? We're gonna rank this thing.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
wrap it
let's
up.
do
Put
it.
a bow on it.
All right, who wants to start?
I can go if you
Own
want.
it.
Go,
Stream it. Skip it.
I think it's on the I think it's on the borderline of an own or stream. Now, I would own it, but I could see some other people maybe like not wanting to own it. But for me, I would gladly own it, especially for the right price.
Right. Okay.
I saw it, as I said, in the theater last year. It was one of 10 movies or 12 movies I saw last year. One of the better ones, honestly, which is, kind of indicative of how movies are now. Like that's one of the better movies. Like, not that it's bad, but just that.
No, yeah, I understand.
You know what I
the
mean?
Trend.
James McAvoy is fantastic. I think
Love him.
if you love James McAvoy, if you love like Split and him.
He was in X-Men too.
X-Men.
Yeah.
But like in Split, he gets to cook and do all these
he's
different
able
creepy
to really go
characters
nuts
and
with it.
Glass. I think you would gladly enjoy this. The tension is there.
Tension.
If you
in
like
the air.
tension, horror, thriller, I gave it an 8.4. I think it's a pretty solid, just a good movie, good tension, and and the rewatch it held up. I caught I got to
I
appreciate.
think you see more on the rewatch. You
Yeah,
get
you
a
get
little
to
more
appreciate.
details.
You get to appreciate the whole Ant thing more and what's going on, and not having to think about why is he doing this. More as like, oh, I understand. Like, this is why he's doing this. If you like those type of movies, I would definitely check it out.
Woj.
Yeah, I would go with this is a stream for me. Not because it's horror, dickhead. But I would just say that it's a pretty good movie for the. I think the movies that are not strictly horror, they're like kind of like this drama.
I think it's more up your alley, Woj, for like if you had to watch like a scarier type of
Definitely.
movie.
I mean, I'm just saying it's definitely so in terms of like more logical twist of like a family that murders other families and they're trying to be logical about it and stuff like that.
It's a little more grounded too.
True. With those, I tend to like them obviously a lot more. But yeah, it's always been a stream for me just because it's a thing that I can't find myself just going back to.
You wouldn't revisit it probably.
I just wouldn't go back to it as
often.
like with an own you know that you're going to be continually watching.
Yeah, you're gonna
that.
be popping it in the player.
Right.
Yeah.
So that being said, I would probably go with a 7-8
It's
as my
respectable, yeah.
ranking. Just something that is, again, a streaming one is one that you can go back to or you throw on. Honestly, date night, perfect date night movie. In terms of just like throwing something on that you're not really paying attention to, you pick it up. Okay, cool. Okay, whatever.
That's
doing other
fair.
Shit.
It's a makeup movie, you're saying?
Yeah, kind of. Honestly.
All right, mine.
got, Bob?
I'm also going with the stream. I think it's a great movie. I like James McAvoy, but I think this I would only want to see every once in a while. It's not like hey, it's every 2 Thursdays popping this on, but it has a lot of fun elements. I give it an 8.8. I think that it doesn't quite hit the A-level status, but I think it's a fun thriller, man. If you really want to kind of get taken away with the movie, give this one a
I
shout.
think to me, it's like a solid B, maybe at best creeping into a low B plus. Like, it's an 8.4. Could be a couple points higher, could be a couple points lower, depending.
And I guess my appreciation for James McAvoy, maybe
Yeah.
that's what
Absolutely
kinda kicks it up quite a
Well,
bit.
I mean, I
so.
think we all have our different scale and whatnot. 8.4 is a good score. It's a great score.
So I appreciate. This was a good one. And who's up? We're doing a theme next, right?
We're doing, if I may, 80s.
You may.
80s. I would say month, but 80s 3 weeks because there's only 3 of us.
Trifecta.
80s trifecta. Now, can I just clarify? Is this meaning? a movie made in the 80s or about the 80s.
Made in the 80s.
Okay, so can it be like...
It has come out in the 80s.
Okay,
It's
so
actually
anything in the
80s.
80s come out in the 80s. But that, for
Yes.
example, it couldn't be a movie about the 80s that's made later.
No.
Correct.
Like an Adventureland.
No.
No.
It
Okay.
cannot.
Gotcha.
All right,
Understood.
Woj is first on the docket for that one.
What do you got, Woj? Are you gonna do your? Are you gonna bust the break in case of emergency one that we've been thinking about, or are you gonna do something else?
You guys know what it's gonna be.
I don't. I'm
I
curious.
think I do know what it's gonna be.
You know what it's gonna be. It's the breakfast.
I knew
Club.
it. Yeah. I
Oh
knew
my
it.
God! Really?
And
All right.
now-
I
we're
told
gonna-
you it's break in case.
Okay.
Now we're gonna fucking have it out.
But wasn't it? Yeah. Bob,
'Cause
yeah.
Bobby and Ryan are not the biggest.
We're gonna be
fans of it.
talking mad shit about this.
I just want to say
one.
I don't hate it. I just don't.
I
think-
do.
We will.
I don't think
we
it's as-
will discuss it.
Okay.
And we will see what happens from there. But this was a possible topic on our sandpaper hour.
Right, and this is the perfect time I was gonna say to
This
do
is
it. We're
perfect.
doing 80s, like it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. It worked out well, but it was also like it's coming. It's like
All
a
right.
storm is coming.
Also, I must say it's quintessential 80s movie.
It is. It is.
If you think of the
it's
80s,
a marquee 80s movie.
and for
Yes.
someone, Bobby, by the way, for
John
someone
Hughes.
who hates this movie, Bobby dressed up as Bender in the costume party.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's
it's
easy.
interesting.
It's an easy
to
poll.
dress up. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's right. I did. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to giving this another watch with fresh eyes and maybe trying to take something away from it this time and appreciate
That's,
it.
you know what?
more.
Maybe I'll do
I mean,
that too.
you
Like I
just-
said, there's
honestly-
characters I like, but the movie itself I don't.
I
you
think
just can't go wrong with John Hughes, man.
Well,
I love John Hughes.
16
I know you're on
Candles,
his
John
dick.
Hughes.
I know that, but it's fine. We all are.
You shut your hormone.
I was gonna say, like, I think because I've only seen it maybe like once or twice, and I think it's one of those movies kind of where like you get told how good it is, so you kind of have this
You have this high
expectations in your
expectation,
head,
sure.
and then you see it, and you're like, it's fine, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
like
fine.
I didn't, it's okay. I don't know if I would make all the hoopla about it, but maybe this time I'll like it more. So we'll see.
Okay.
You know, yeah, fresh eyes. I'll go in this as objectively as
But
possible.
if we have any issues, let's have reasonings for them and
Sure.
thought out.
Not just like
Yeah.
it sucks. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, Breakfast Club though, coming at you. Ryan's birthday though, man. Happy
Yeah,
birthday!
thank you
This
guys
is
for
Happy
coming
birthday.
out. Thank you for the shirt, by the way. I'm wearing the
Yeah,
Billy
there we go.
Bats. Break up my fucking party. I thought it was a pro beer. This is my birthday, you know.
So there it goes.
It's your party.
These shirts are fantastic. I have
Redbubble,
4
baby.
of them. I
Yeah.
love them, and I've looking forward to wearing them any chance I get. So.
Excellent.
Absolutely. All right, the Journeyman Lounge podcast will ride again, and we will talk to you later.
I like that outro.
Adios,
Fucking, we should make
amigos.
that. Adios.